Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show. It's the Analyst Desk. Yeah, in case you didn't know, it's the Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show where every day feels like game day, bro.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Analyst Desk. It is I, Jacob Moore, the analyst, and we're here for the NHL Madness post-game show, joined by Mr. Moore,
sports analyst.
Woo! Hello, everyone. I think our last episode was the best one yet. 15 seconds.
Okay, Dan.
And oh yeah, new personal
Mr.
best.
Adam the Goat.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
it is. I agree, Jacob.
So the Leafs won a game, boys.
Yes, they did.
How do we feel about it?
It's a win. It's a performance I expected earlier in the season. It was too little, too late for that kind of performance.
15 seconds of glory. That's right, JP. Power for Windsor. Hey, everyone. A question mark win. Well, yeah. I mean, a win is a win. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
I mean, you know what? Call me crazy. Because I've been sitting here talking that the Leafs should kind of lose to get the pick and everything for the best overall future of the franchise. That's right. However, I'm very happy with tonight's win. Why? Because it was against a Boston rivalry, which we've hated them forever. And not just the fact that they won, but how they won. I was surprised how hard Boston played in that game. They didn't care about a draft pick. They were about 2 points to a playoff spot. Zadorov had a big physical boarding hit on JT of the 6. And it took a rookie, which kind of sucks everyone else, but a rookie in Easton Cowan stepped up and answered the bell. I do have a gas or ass about
of course you do.
Something if you want to go, Jacob.
My mouse is frozen, so do.
Dan was demanding
it. Donkey butt, gas pump. Which one is it? Gas or ass? Do we think Easton Cowan is stepping up to be an NHL player? I really like what he's done. I know the points are not there yet, but he's really matured to an adult. I'm being more and more impressed with him every day. So I'm going to say gas. What do you guys think?
I'm confused on the question.
Do you think Easton Cowan has stepped it up from the beginning of the year, basically?
Oh, then yeah, clearly. Well, I think that this question's a weird one just because, of course, he stepped up from the beginning of the season because at the beginning of the season, he didn't really know his role in the NHL. I think he's really carved out a good role for himself in the lineup.
Yeah.
Now than it was at the start of the season. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to how it looks, how his role maybe looks next season and how he continues to progress throughout the rest of the season. But I'm loving the Hardy show, and he looks a lot more comfortable, and he looks a lot more like how he did with the London Knights. I feel like he's going into that kind of role, like that London Knights role that he had, which was fun role. So I love it. I love how he's playing. He's playing definitely seems a lot more comfortable though.
Yeah,
but it's 100%. Fun to see. It's good to see a young rookie be like that.
I totally agree with you, Adam. Like, it's not just his physical play, but his offense play, his defensive play, the way he structures himself, even he has taken the odd face-off. He just looks more and more adult and a comfortable NHL player right now. So
you could definitely see him being London Knight. You could definitely see him being more of a pest because he was kind of like that in in the OHL when he was with the Knights. Mm-hmm. And I love that he kind of found the balance, I think, between being like a pest and being more creative and offensive like he was in the OHL. I feel like that was tough for him at the beginning to kind of find his rhythm in that role, in the role that he wanted to be and what his playing style really is. Mm-hmm. And I thought he's done a good job now of finding the balance a lot better.
For sure. Great comment there. 20 plus hits.
By the way, guys, I apologize that I had to run away. I just had an issue with trying to do too many things at once. But 20 plus hits from the Leafs. Where was this hard a month ago? Funfish, I think this is just what happens when finally something gave with what happened with Austin Matthews, and this team has woken up a bit on that.
I think more so it's the shots, the ridiculous amount of shots the team took this game. Like they took a lot, not a ridiculous amount, but they definitely shot it. They shot it more than Boston, which hasn't happened in I don't know how long now.
Yeah.
Like we outshot a team finally. Like I think that's bigger because they've been hitting all season. Like 20 plus hits, that's but outshooting an opponent, I think is a bigger deal at this point, given how bad it's been recently.
I love this comment here. Big comeback win from Montreal. 100% true on that. That was a really impressive victory against Carolina, which they could very well face in the playoffs, depending how, could face them in the second round. Let's go, Senators. Yeah, welcome back
good win for them.
to the show. Let's go. Ottawa looked really good. And Jacob, you called it. You said that Ottawa would be in the playoff spot. And I thought you were on some type of substance I can't say on YouTube, apparently. But I thought you were doing that, and you were right. They were in the playoff spot right now. So congrats to you, Mr. J. Mo.
Look, I kept saying it, this Ottawa Senator team plays really well, and I think Travis Green is a really good coach. Tim Stützle has just basically put this team on his back and is going to drag this team kicking and screaming. And I feel bad for all Detroit Red Wings fans. I mean, you still have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs, but that was a tough loss tonight. You know what? You're down 3-0. You storm back to make it 3-2, but you just couldn't get the job done. And that's a loss that you may look back. Boston might look back at this game as where the season got away from them. And Detroit might look back at this game as well and be like, this is where it got
still
away
a long
from
season to go. There's still like 10 plus games to go for like most teams at
Very
this point.
true.
Still.
Yeah.
For teams,
so there's
that
still
don't
a
make
long
it,
way
you
to
always
go. A
look at
little
that
bit
one
more.
game that you felt you should have won. And Detroit, I mean, they got Larkin back in the lineup. Ottawa has so many injuries. I think you really thought this was the one.
Question for you.
I think Ottawa was more the concern. Like if Ottawa lost this game, that would be more concerning too. I think there's still 11 games left in the season, and Ottawa. I think what's one thing that Ottawa needs to focus on at this point, and I think Sens fans also need to focus. Like the team, don't get ahead of yourselves just yet. You're there, but don't get ahead of yourselves because there is the point of you get ahead of yourselves that you're in this position now and you're like, okay, we're playing great. We're playing fine. We're going to get into the playoffs easy peasy. I'm not saying that's what people are thinking, but you can, I think the team needs to find itself, like just needs to, I don't think they're doing it as much as, but they do need to call everybody just needs to calm it down and, just 11 games left and there's still chances. If they blow this and people look back and it's like, well, the Senators were in a playoff position after beating Detroit with 11 games to go in the season. What the hell happened?
Yeah.
And it's like, this is not a comfortable road left for Ottawa because there's still the question mark of you don't have Shabbat for the rest of this season, basically. He has surgery. He has to have surgery on his arm. He's out for 6 weeks.
And still no word about suspension.
He's still out for the playoffs. And he's still out for because JT Miller's, it's not a suspendable play. It's not a suspendable. It wasn't great, but it wasn't a suspendable play in my eyes, at least. And I doubt it was for the NHL either. It wasn't it wasn't that dirty of a play. Like I've seen worse go with no suspension. It would have been weak to give that as a suspension but Ottawa just needs to, there's still a long way to go. You still got to play. Well, the Leafs, it should be a gimme win for them, but those types of games are the types of games Sens fans and the Senators can't overlook because you get into that mindset the closer you get to a playoff spot that you're like, oh yeah, there's cakewalk wins at this point. And it's like, no, not every win is you saw with the Rangers game last night where the Ottawa Senators should have blown them out. They were up and comfortable. And then they gave up, despite only giving up 9-10. I think they gave them a 10th shot today. The NHL, to the Rangers, and it's like you should have blown them out. That was a game that you should have blown out and won comfortably. But looking at their schedule, looking up their schedule coming up, you got Pittsburgh next, which isn't a cakewalk. You got Tampa Bay, which is going to be a tough game. Florida, despite missing Brad Marchand and some other players and a lot of guys banged up,
Beat the Kraken today.
they are still, it's 4-4. It was 4-4 and they got to overtime against the Kraken. Like, it's still a tough game. Buffalo's very tough. Minnesota, Carolina, Tampa again, Florida again. And then you got New York and New Jersey, and then Toronto to end the season. Outside of New Jersey and Toronto, none of these are really cakewalk games for them. And those are the 2 last games of the season. They got 2 games against Tampa, 2 games against Florida, a game against Buffalo, which is not an easy game at all anymore.
Mhm.
Like Minnesota, like you got a lot of tough opponents coming up. That makes it 9 of your last 11 games are against teams that are in a playoff spot. Mostly, most of the way. The Islanders aren't, of course, but like most of the games that they're playing outside of the 2 Florida games, the Leafs and New Jersey, not like outside of those guys, you're playing all people who are fighting for a playoff position. This isn't going to be a cakewalk for Ottawa, and I wouldn't be getting comfortable, I guess I should say, and happy about how things are going right now, because this next stretch will decide Ottawa's season. They can't drop points at this point. They can't afford it.
But go ahead, Dan.
Sorry, Dan.
That's all right. Question for you, Jacob. You were having some technical difficulties during our gas OS. So my gas OS was, do you think tonight was proving that Easton Cowan is more of a man and whether he'll be an NHL player?
Well, you know what? You're seeing this in the comment section too from Nick Baker here saying, love seeing Cowan going after Zadorov. Not a smart move, but the kid's got heart, at least on that team. And I think Cowan, it's not just the fights, because you know what he's had. Funny enough, it wasn't really a full-blown fight. Dakota Joshua fought Zadorov later in the game, but I think you're just seeing Cowan is learning how to play at this level. He's getting more minutes. He has more room now, where I feel like he's not looking over his shoulder if he makes one mistake that he's going to be pulled off he's going to be benched for the game like he was earlier in the year.
That's a good point, Jacob. And
I really like what Easton Cowan's doing. I think he's playing some really solid hockey. And I think for now, at least, he's finding a way to help his team win games. So I personally feel you got to be really happy with what Easton Cowan's been bringing to the team of late. But just some more comments here.
This Tampa Bay game has been good.
We're also watching along the Oilers game at the moment here as well. So we'll be reacting to that game live. Oilers and Mammoth are currently tied at 1. To update some more scores, we have in the comment section, the Jets are currently beating the Vegas Golden Knights 3-1. This is a big game for the Jets.
And I'm not. It's not that I'm not surprised. It's just that Vegas have struggled. I really hope Vegas would wake up, but
they certainly need
4 power play goals, by the way,
Vegas, because all of a sudden, like what I want to do right now is when we're speaking on that division with Edmonton and Vegas and all that fun stuff. If we start to take a look at the Pacific, things are getting a little dicey. So when we start to look at these standings here, you know, here's the Pacific, right? Okay.
I feel Anaheim ragged on this division.
Anaheim is starting to pull away, but you look here at LA, and unfortunately for Seattle and San Jose, they're losing today in games that they probably should be trying to that they really needed to find ways to win. But if you're Edmonton and Vegas, your spot's not really safe, just because you still have LA and Seattle that aren't that far behind. Someone eventually in this division is going to learn that if you score more goals than the other team, you win the hockey game. And I think if you're looking in this division specifically, what a weak division, number one. Number two, like if you're Edmonton, you're very lucky, and same with Vegas. You're very lucky that you're in the spots that you're in, but you still need to be careful. Like Edmonton has got to start winning some games.
Like Toronto has as many points as LA, technically.
I mean, they do.
So if Toronto was in this division, they would be right there. I think we have a new commenter in the chat here. So
we will get
it's time for Dan's favorite thing to do. It's time to plug. But I just want to point out quickly.
We got lots of comments to get to. Fun fish.
I just want to point out quickly, the Wild and Lightning, they have 4 combined power play goals in their game so far. This game has been insane.
Yeah, it's been a good game.
I've watched some of it. It's been a crazy game
just
so far.
taking a 4-3 lead.
Really good game.
Yeah, they've been
Devils
playing great. They're
beating
on
the
the power
Stars.
play now.
There's a real
Could be a
surprise
Stanley
one.
Cup, but
Yeah,
preview.
Sharks about to lose their 4th in a row. And yeah, I mean, the Sharks, unfortunately, are for a while they're playing themselves into the playoff race. They're kind of playing themselves out. Welcome to the desk, Nicole. And yeah, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, he just got his 800th career point. Well, congrats to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Wow, good for him.
And I will say, I really want Edmonton to make the playoffs, right? I want Edmonton to make the playoffs. I'm just saying, in that division, if one team could just get on a run, you could see a team jump ahead. And if you are enjoying the content, I will say, if you could hit the subscribe button and share the videos, follow us on Facebook, all our social medias, and always comment. We love having the conversation to make sure you
subscribe to our channel.
We appreciate every subscriber. It helps with the algorithm and keeps everything rolling. Underdogs are spanking playoff teams tonight, and Funfish, you're right, they are. They're spanking them like when you got in trouble for taking 2 cookies when Mama said you could only have 1. But the plug, the stream.
Well, maybe if they like that.
Playoffs? Yeah, Alex, it's crazy. The playoffs are around the corner.
They are. We're right here.
Yeah, Funfish, you're right.
Nashville.
The Nashville Predators. Talk about a surprise team that is potentially getting back into the dance.
Holy cow.
Which, by the way,
to be fair, their team is stacked on paper.
Nashville was another team that I called saying if a team could put some wins together, Nashville's got a lot of really good players.
You did call that too.
Yeah, like let's be fair to Nashville. That team is very good on paper. That team is good. Like the signings they've made are good on paper. Like they aren't necessarily like your run-of-the-mill bad team. Like they're just a team that has good players that have struggled to get wins at times this year. But that team is very good. And they made the playoffs, what was it, 2 years ago? The first year they got Ryan O'Reilly. If I'm not mistaken, they made the playoffs.
2 years ago, I think.
And then they didn't really do anything. I think they got swept, but I don't remember who they got swept by. But they did get swept aside pretty easily. Mm-hmm. But like the Oilers, it's just about they got to string together some wins, and I haven't been sold on them the last 3 years, and I've been surprised they've gotten out of the West. Sorry, not the East. But I've been very surprised by it because the teams that they played are better, but they found ways to squeak out wins. But
Sold.
The Oilers from this year compared to the last 2 years, it's a worse team. Like the team on paper is worse. Like it just is. Like Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Zach Hyman, Bouchard. Like their core is very good. Everything else around their core is gone worse the last 3 years. Somehow it's only gotten worse. And it's I think at this point, I would be concerned, even if the Oilers make the playoffs, I would be genuinely concerned about when Edmonton if Edmonton gets out of their division side, if they make it in the top 3, I would be genuinely concerned about them running into one of the 3-headed monster in the Central because they're going to get, honestly, no offense to Oilers fans, I can't see them finding a way to scrape out with the way their defense and goaltending have played this year. They're going to get slaughtered, in my opinion. I think the difference between this year and last year is that last year, the Oilers found good ways to win, and we're still able to win in better ways. Like this year, it just doesn't feel the same for them. And it feels like it's a worse situation they're in. Like Stuart Skinner found ways to turn it around, but Tristan Jarry doesn't have that track record. Neither does Ingram. Ingram and Jarry, they're two perceived goalies. Neither of them have good track records in the playoffs, while Stuart Skinner brought them to 2 straight Stanley Cup finals. And it's you get that sense that at least with Skinner, they knew what they were getting out of him when it came to the playoffs. But again, you never know what happens in the Central because you never know, because Utah if Utah's on that side of the draw, or if Edmonton are somehow in that side of the draw, they could beat the two teams they have to face to get out of that side of the draw and into the Western Conference. You never know what happens when you get to the playoffs, but I think that concern should be real for Oilers fans.
And we got a great
is that it is big.
We got a great comment here from Alex. Counterpoint
Welcome
to the
back,
West.
Alex.
Do the Central teams beat each other so hard they're wiped when it comes to the conference, when it comes to the West Final?
Good
And you know
question.
what, Alex? With this
Possible.
playoff format, this is potentially very possible. Lane, what's your thoughts on this comment here? Funfish was so happy you're back. I got to toss it to you. Take the fish and run.
Let me see the comment.
It's right on the street. Yeah.
So just about counterpoint here, do you think the Central teams, which would be Minnesota, Dallas, and Colorado, are going to be so hard on each other by the West Finals, they're just out of gas?
I could see that. That's possible. I could definitely see that.
I think so too.
Counterpoint to his counterpoint, Colorado, you never know. Colorado could just dog walk both Dallas and Minnesota and walk into the. But Jacob, I'm telling you that it is possible that one of those three teams dog walks the other two and walks into the Western Conference unscathed because they've just destroyed. Like, I think it is very possible. Like, it may not happen. I don't think it will. I don't think Colorado is going to dog walk Dallas and Minnesota. I don't genuinely, but it's possible. Is it like it's like a 0.11111% chance that one of those three teams dog walks the other two? But it is possible that Colorado is just that good. Like, that Colorado on paper, it's just that good. Will it deliver? That's a different question. But it is possible that one of those three teams kicks the ass of the other two and wins in 5 games and walks into the Western Finals and just dog walks the Pacific Division, the Pacific side winner. Like, you never know what could happen. Like, we don't genuinely know what would happen, but it is possible.
Now, speaking of ass, we got a comment, and it's time for everyone's favorite game show. Maybe Adam's least favorite game show. It's ready for gas or ass. Gas or ass? Is the East stronger to win the cup this year? Mr. Moore for your money? Dan Moore Smiles, as I have your name for some strange reason. I forget why. The floor is yours.
Oh, you control that.
Because you tried to call him the plug last night.
I think gas. I think the East is going to win the Stanley Cup this year. Last couple years, we've seen the Florida Panthers do it. The year before that,
it was Florida, and then Colorado, and then Tampa.
So last little while is all
Vegas,
right?
Vegas was after Colorado. So.
Yeah, I think the East are going to win it. And to answer Alex's question, so you're getting a chance to answer that, I think you got a very good point, Alex. I think when it comes to the further down in the West, the teams are going to be gassed from that very strong division, and the weaker team might very well make it to the Stanley Cup final, like maybe Edmonton or Seattle. You know, who knows, right?
I mean, this is a possibility for a final, Avalanche versus Tampa, and I'm going to say
Tampa Bay, Minnesota.
Point, Funfish. I think the East is a stronger conference as a whole, but I think the juggernauts in the West are better than the juggernauts in the East. Like, I look at Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota are better than Tampa, Carolina, and Buffalo. That's my opinion, right? So I think the East is a stronger conference as a whole, but still, when you're looking at overall, when it comes down to trying to win the cup, I do feel Colorado, Minnesota, and Dallas are definitely the 3 strongest teams without a doubt. What's your thoughts on this, Lane?
I'm kind of where you are. Like, I feel like it's kind of one of those things where you look at the West and you're like, man, it's really weak because the Pacific is just so bad, right? Like, overall, like that division, like nobody wants to win it except for the Ducks. The Central is there's some teams that are at the bottom of Central that aren't so great. But then the East feels like, well, The Leafs have 72 points, and if you put them in the Pacific Division, they'd be in a playoff spot in this under 500 team. But so yeah, the East seems harder, but I do think that more juggernauts are in the topper echelon of the Western Conference. Like, no,
Adam, we've saved potentially the best for last. What's your take on this?
I don't think so my genuine answer is there's only 3 teams. So I went from 2 to now 3 teams, I think, that could come out of the East. That, in my opinion, depending on who they play, there's only 3 teams genuinely currently right now that, as constructed, are Stanley Cup contenders, in my eyes. There's only 3. It's Tampa, it's Buffalo, and it's Carolina. Those 3 are the most complete rosters, and they're the teams that are best set up to win a Stanley Cup, I think. In Buffalo, it's taken them long enough to finally get to the playoffs with the team that they built for what feels like over a decade. It's taken them a while to get back here, but I do genuinely think with the team they built and how they've been playing recently, they could very much win the cup. Tampa Bay has the experience of their main core to win the cup. Carolina, I think, they've been on the cusp. They've been at 2 straight East finals now. And they've been like right there, but not good enough to beat Florida. And it's like, I feel like they're right there again to go, and they could potentially be all the way back in the conference finals again. Will they win it? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see in May if they're there and they can win it. But genuinely, those 3 are the only 3 teams I see. But again, it's like, that essential, those 3 central, like Minnesota, Dallas, and Colorado, are just so damn good at the moment. My answer will come after the first round.
That's
genuinely
fair.
My first impressions of the playoffs, that first round, we'll know because the 2 teams that get out of that first round of the Central Division side of the West, we'll know which team is legit for the playoffs. We'll know which team is ready to go to war to win a Stanley Cup. And we'll know on the Eastern side too. We'll know which teams are the real contenders after the first round. My genuine answer right now is that I still think the West are winning the cup. I don't think there is a team. There's 3 teams I could see winning it. I still think I still think the cup is going to go West again.
I don't think Carolina's as good as you're putting them, to be honest with you, because
they've
Carolina
been great
only
this
makes
year
it to the 3rd round of the year because of the weak division that they're in. They are missing a couple holes, like what Fun Fist is saying here, maybe goaltending. I think we're missing a top 6 power forward. They didn't do anything.
Well, Dan,
headline. I don't know. Yeah, will they make the 3rd round? Probably, because they're in a weak division. Are they a good enough team to win the cup? I don't think so.
But Dan, that's what I'm saying. That I say as of right now, as currently constructed, Carolina, you can't deny a fact that Carolina's been to the. I don't care what side of the division they're. I don't really care who they have to play. They've been to the East finals. They've been the 2nd best team in the East.
Yeah,
twice, back-to-back years, and they've lost to one of the more dominant champions we've seen. Like there's like Florida style of play the last 2 years has been just domination. Like the Canes have had no chance.
Yeah, I agree with this
for those 2. So, like as of currently constructed, they're there. Like I think they could genuinely take that step and make. Can I see them actually genuinely winning the cup? No, but they're there. They're a contender. Like I won't. But as I said before, we'll know who the real contenders are in a couple weeks when the first round of the playoffs is over. In a couple weeks, we'll know who the real contenders are at the end of the day. Because Buffalo might not actually be a real contender. We won't know until they played a playoff game. Most of that team hasn't played a playoff game in their career. Like we don't know how they're going to play under that pressure. It's the same thing down. Like look at Colorado last year. Look at Colorado the year before that when they played the Kraken.
Ooh, there we go.
In their first playoff series, and they lost. Like we genuinely don't know how these teams will play under the pressure, but like again, like you can't deny how close Carolina have been twice to making a Stanley Cup final again. Like that's a genuine fact. You can't deny it. But again, you won't know until the lights are brightest at the end of the day.
2-0 Blues over the Caps with 3 minutes left. And that's the interesting thing, too, in the
Wow.
West. It's still really open on some of these teams that you felt had no chance in hell of making it, all of a sudden right there. I want to say with Carolina quickly before we move on this topic. I think Carolina is a very good team, but I think time after time in the playoffs, goaltending has been a major issue that they just have not addressed. Bussy has looked really weak of late ever since the Olympic break. And I just don't know if the goaltending is good enough to get them through. Not that I think Anderson's stats were terrible tonight. I saw the goals. I don't really think he stood a chance on any of them.
Oh, you can't blame him. No,
I don't think Carolina is like an Edmonton team that can maybe score 7 goals a night and avoid goaltending being an issue, right? That's my thing, which right now the Oilers in Utah is currently 1-1, as you see on your screen.
Yeah, nice work laying it out up there.
Currently 9-4. Just see a really nice save now from the Oilers netminder. My question for you guys, since we're watching, a bit of a watch along for the Oilers tonight as well.
I think it's England.
Who's starting for the Oilers?
Who's starting for the
Oilers? I can't even tell.
It's 35 for Edmonton. Their net.
I have that's why I'm asking. I don't know their numbers.
Sorry, but I thought it was England because England's former team is Utah.
By the way, the Sharks quickly has made it 6-3 over. So they're closing the gap a little bit. Couple minutes left. It is Tristan.
Oh, it's Jarry. Okay,
it is Jarry. Yeah, my bad.
That doesn't give me any confidence for them. Sorry, Tristan Jarry. No offense, but you have not played great.
In any goalie in Edmonton.
No, me neither.
Goaltending's good enough. But either way, I mean, the Oilers still do have a lot of really good players for what they're doing. So,
nice shot.
Also, too, we got the Canucks beating the Devils.
Wow,
is that crazy?
I mean, being the Ducks, sorry. That's a bit of a surprise.
Well, the Ducks haven't been a good defensive team all season. Defensive team. Kind of defensive team. Kind of goaltending's been a little bit weird for them this year without Gibson. First season without Gibson in like a decade nearly now. That Gibson's been in the league, whatever it is, but
yeah, it has been.
You never know.
Decade or whatever.
The Ducks have conceded like over 200 goals. And they've I think they still have almost a positive. No, they have a negative goal difference, and they're winning a division is still crazy to me. But
yeah, it's crazy.
This is not a surprise to me because they give up goals. Like they're just not a shutdown defensive team, which is why I don't think they're legit yet. They're not legit yet, and that's no offense to that team because that team is very good. But until they can figure out, I think the next step this offseason for them, no matter what they do in the playoffs, better in their defensive zone is one thing that I think they'll work on. And I hope that I don't even remember who their goaltender is right now, but they need to figure out a better defensive system at the moment.
Dole's a good goalie.
And I think they'll be fine. Yeah. Well, I think they just need to, I think it's a transition period away from the Gibson era where they just need to kind of try and figure it out.
And fun fish, no offense, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you get in, you got in. Right?
Yeah.
And I do agree.
All that matters.
More desperate hockey. But at the end of the day, if you get in, you get in. Look, Calgary would have made the playoffs if they were in the East last year. But, tough bananas, as my kindergarten teacher used to say. At the end of the day, they were in the West and they didn't make it. You could say the same thing for the Leafs.
Bananas aren't tough, though. They're
but
that's a good point.
Crazy thing, boys. And by the way, I want to say another thing that I call.
Believe me, I shop for bananas a lot when I do my job. They're definitely not tough. They're not tough. You drop them once, they splatter all over the place, and you get a 1-star, and you're like, oh no!
Guess what team is back within being a spitting distance from getting into the playoffs?
What?
The Winnipeg Jets.
Oh.
Whoa!
Now, mind, Nashville's about to win. Are only 5 with Nashville winning tonight still, they are only 5 points behind Nashville for making the playoffs.
Wait, I want to ask who here thought Winnipeg was dead in the water? I feel like a lot of you, I think all three of you thought they were dead in the water.
No, I didn't. I said if
I was
Winnipeg
just asking Jacob.
Run, which they've done.
I said the same thing about other teams that I've been like, well, like genuinely, they didn't look like they were in a great position. I think that's about St. Louis too. I think it's a little too late. I would be surprised if they got in, but if they got in, I don't know Like, it hasn't been a great year. Like, I feel like that's just a consolation prize at this point. Like, because it's just been such a bad season for them. Even if they make the playoffs, given last year, they've just played horrendously this year. Like, it's been better recently, but like, even then, like, it can't, like, this is not a good season for them at all.
It's a boring game. There's even 10 shots in the game yet.
I know.
Through the second period.
Well, no, it's 9-6, so 15 in total.
Yeah, but I mean, like, no one's gotten 10. Like, not usually you get 10 shots in the first like 10 minutes of the game.
Well, that's true.
Antoine Frondel had his first career point today with the Chicago. I didn't think he was going to play today because I know he got called up. I don't know if he got called up like late last night or something, but I saw he got called up today, and like he's playing today and he's playing. He got an assist, of course, for Chicago, which is good for him. But like James Hagen's, it was just such a weird situation for him because he has an AHL tryout contract, so he could keep the option open to go play again for Boston College next year because he didn't sign his entry level deal yet. So I find that interesting. I wonder if he'll go back again next year. Given he didn't sign his entry level, I'm assuming he wants to go back next year, but I guess we'll see what happens. If he plays really well, I doubt Boston really wants him to go back.
Oh, Flames trying to bring down the Kings tonight. What's the score in that one? Let's pop over. Yeah, the Flames and Kings are tied at 1 currently, which give Calgary credit. They're battling hard no matter how bad they are. I mean, funny enough, they actually have more wins than the LA Kings. The difference is LA has 17 overtime losses.
They're one away from that record. They're one away from tying the record, which is genuinely kind of an embarrassing record to have.
And this brings up a point I've brought up before. This is what's the issue about having some games worth a total of 3 points and other games worth a total of 2 points. Because you look, the LA Kings might make the playoffs based on losing. Where if Calgary, their regulation wins, if they were worth 3 points over 2, they'd be closer to where the LA Kings are. Right, and it's fun.
They got points though. The Kings, they got points Adam? At the end of the day. I said they got points. No, like points is what matters at the end of the day.
You guys,
it sucks, but it's where the way.
The point of the matter is, different games are worth a different amount of total points, and that's an issue. Because you're getting LA is essentially might make the playoffs by losing. Because Calgary loses in regulation, so their games are worth less points in total. Because again, some games are worth 2 points in the season. Like for example, I give you a perfect example tonight. Toronto, Boston. How many points were given out in total tonight between Toronto and Boston?
2.
2 because you don't get a point for losing in regulation.
Total points. Okay, 2 total points. The Panthers Kraken game. How many total points were given out in that game?
I don't know. I don't know what the score was.
It went to a shootout. So how many total points were given in that game between the two teams?
3.
That's
okay, but problem. Jacob.
Jacob, you can't have some games worth more total points than others. It's idiotic.
You're not letting me finish. You're not letting me finish what I was going to say. Okay, wait. No, Jacob, it is stupid, but you have either way. There's 3 points up for grabs then if you have a 3-point system anyways. Like the games mean, but like, let's say they do go to a 3-point system. Okay, Jacob, let me bloody finish my point before you cut me off. Like, geez Louise. Like, they lost? Yeah, but that's the way the things have been in the NHL for what? Like, almost 20 years now? Like, it sucks, but, like, Calgary win games more. Win or find ways to get more points. Like, it sucks, but the way the system is right now, you have to get... But Jacob, the system's not going to bloody change right now. Okay, so at the end of the day, sorry to say it, build a bridge and get over it. Because Calgary, if Calgary wanted to win games and Calgary was good, they would win more games and they would get more points. Kings are finding ways to get points within the system. I agree with
Jacob on this one.
Kings are I get it. The system, 3-point system would be so much better. I agree that it would be so much better. But as currently stated, the system, the NHL is not going to change the system during the CBA. So until the CBA expires, honestly, Jacob, Dan, build a bridge and get over it.
Stop stealing my sayings.
I don't care because the Kings, they've lost 17 games, but they've gotten ways to get to an extra point, to earn an extra point. It sucks for Calgary. It sucks that they're suck. It sucks that they suck, but they suck.
Okay,
So,
but then you could. But
honestly, they got to figure it out.
Dude.
They do suck, but they got to figure out a way to.
So back in the 90s, though, and I know, Adam, you weren't born in the 90s yet, but back in the 90s, overtime losses were worth nothing. And that made more sense. A loss either needs to be worth nothing or a regulation win needs to be worth 3. Now, I understand this isn't going to change right now, but I'm entitled to complain about it because I have a platform.
You are, and I'm entitled to tell you to build a bridge and get over it. I'm entitled to say that as well.
I don't think you know how to build a bridge. I don't think you took those engineering classes in high school. Did you?
How do you know? How do you know?
I'm asking. Did you?
You don't know.
I can see Adam being an engineer.
Maybe I did.
I think
Maybe I did, Jacob.
He's Bob's a
Build a
builder.
bridge and get over it.
Literally.
Get over it. The Kings are fine. The Kings
Can we
within the
fix
rules,
it?
within the point system, are going to the playoffs because they've earned more points than the Flames.
Well,
that's the way the world works. But that's the way. If they make the playoffs, it's because they've found a way to earn points, Jacob. The system sucks. I'm not arguing with you on that. I'm arguing that you can complain all you want, but Flames suck because they don't have a good enough team right now. Kings also suck, but they found a way to get points. So if the Flames are as good as you've talked about them looking at times, then they should have gotten more points. They should have gotten more points then.
Oh my god!
Sorry,
that was a jump scare, Milane.
Full screen.
3 points. But to be fair, you want to talk about how good the 3-point system is? The PWHL.
I'm going to make Adam full screen.
Okay, Lane. Boo you. Boo you. Boo you for putting me full screen.
Full screen.
Like, you look at the PWHL for having an example of how good the point system is. Like, how good the 3-point system is. It's amazing. They have great rules over there, to be fair.
Honestly, I love some of the PWHL rules. But before we get into some PWHL stuff, I do want to talk about tonight, actually. We have a question here in the comment section. If the Flames rebuilding or retool? I will answer this very short and sweet. It's a rebuild because they traded Nazem Kadri. If it's a retool, they wouldn't have traded Kadri.
That's 100%. True.
It's obviously a rebuild.
Calgary.
A retool is just delaying.
Some good young players, but I think they're 3-4 years away, which luckily most of those guys are under contract 5 years. So
couldn't say it better myself, Jacob.
I think between Dustin Wolf, Frost, Therapy, Canado, I think you have lots of very, very talented players in Calgary. I just don't think you're there yet. We have another question in the comments. Which wild card matches would most mean nothing? Game.
I'm confused by the question.
I'm not quite sure. I'm confused
by the question.
So if you want to rewrite your question in a sentence form, I'm just kidding. I'm just not quite sure.
I am very confused by the question.
He means what game today would affect the wild card spots for the Leafs? Because we were talking earlier today how most of the games are going to affect the wild cards. So what's games least affected? I would say probably New Jersey and Canucks because they were both out of it by a long shot.
I feel like Jimmy's what game means most. I feel like you meant what game means nothing. I feel like you're trying to say most doesn't mean much. Okay. I'm still confused.
If all the wild card
I'm always confused, to be fair.
Make up a match for wild card teams that would mean nothing for them. Well, I mean, if a team's pushing for a wild card, every game means something. So that's a tough question. Lane, I love the way the camera follows you. It's like it's like it's your personal stalker.
It is my personal stalker. If I go this way, it goes with.
Wow, St. Louis won 3-0. Wow. Good for St. Louis. Good for St. Louis.
The wild card games make a match up for wild card teams that would mean nothing for them.
I'm still confused, but I'm always confused, to be fair.
I think if you're a wild card team, and no disrespect, but I think if you're a wild card team, every game means something. I mean, I guess if you're
still get 2 points,
team you're not chasing, it might not mean as much. But you look at a team like the New York Islanders losing today to Chicago was
That's
heartbreaking.
hurts.
That hurts the Islanders desperately.
I called
with
that, by the
Ottawa
way.
getting a win. The
Right, Adam?
I don't know. Did you? I
Yeah,
don't remember, honestly.
In our pregame, I said,
Dude,
that
I'm exhausted. I am genuinely exhausted.
Utah's
today.
going to the
So
power play, by the way.
I'm not really paying that much
Edmonton just
attention.
Zach Hyman just took a penalty, a high sticking on Clayton.
Oh, he's
Keller.
so
I really like
good.
Clayton Keller.
He's
Question
so good.
here though in the comment section:
Oh,
is
yeah.
Wolf a
Dustin
strong
Wolf
enough
is so
goalie for
good.
the Flames' future? Yes. Dustin Wolf is so good.
So
He's just
good.
on a really bad team.
Yeah, the game's still 1-1 with 9 minutes to go in the second.
Power
Yeah,
Oh,
not a heck of a lot going on in this game. Wow, both
Sorry?
these teams.
That
suck
Oilers
special teams.
penalty kill is awful. She 26th in the NHL.
Yeah, but I mean, both of these teams
That's
suck
awful.
special teams on these sides.
Yeah, I was just saying the Oilers. Oh, the Oilers just suck
No.
in the penalty kill, which is
Oh,
not
nice
surprising,
game.
I guess. But
Bouchard.
Funfish, I feel like we talked about that Gators game being a big upset last night.
Oilers.
2-1
No need to yell
Edmonton.
into the mic, Jacob.
Let's go.
No need to
I
yell
did.
into the. No need to
Short-handed.
yell into the mic.
It's a short handy. That's a shorty.
Is it a shorty
goal for
lane?
The Edmonton Oilers.
Is it a shorty?
It is a
You
shorty.
sure about that? You sure? 100% sure?
Hey,
Pretty
shorty, it's your birthday.
Unless
we
the
go
Zach Hyman
party
penalty
like
ended that
it's your
fast.
birthday, and we don't give them because that's your birthday.
Buy me in the club.
Really nice.
Like that's just
goal here.
poor
What
from
a
like
pass
that's
from
just
Evan
poor from
Bouchard.
Utah. That's just
Evan
poor
Bouchard is
from
one of the most
Utah.
confusing
I feel like
players.
the Leafs are
in
gonna
the
Yeah, it was
NFL.
definitely short-handed.
That's definitely a soul-handed goal.
So bad.
24
I
seconds.
know it is. I'm making a joke.
He's
Dan,
being
Lane, you both
sarcastic.
suck. You both suck. You're both awful. Awful. Awful.
You know what's
Stop
awful?
it.
Awful.
My comments now. I'm done. Just awful. You ruin all my fun. All my fun gets
I
ruined.
think
I will-
All of it.
well,
This is an important game for Edmonton. Wow, that's the Voice 12th of the year. It's a nice secondary scoring from the young.
Very
gentleman.
nice.
Bouchard's 61st assist. But this is a really big game for the Oilers here, right?
for
Like
sure.
Edmonton,
Big for
with
Utah
Vegas,
as well.
with Vegas losing currently, this is a chance for Edmonton to
They've
try
already
to.
lost, Jacob.
Oh, and he
what?
scored!
man.
Oh
night.
boy, so much of that
Game-
lead.
This game's heating up,
What a
baby.
snipe.
Lawson Krause.
Krause.
I love Lawson
What a
Krause.
snipe. I don't.
You have a lot of fans there in Utah, eh?
Honestly,
actually
I
do
didn't
get
even know
really
he was
good
still
fans.
playing. I didn't even know he was
Gators
still
being
playing.
out. Yeah, fun fish, the Gators. I like the Gators. Now, I know nothing about college basketball, but I like their logo.
I was going to
so
say, that's
I
a
was
terrible
hoping you'd
effort from
do
the
well.
goal. Tristan Jarry sucks.
I don't think you can blame.
Wait, Jacob, do you know why that's an upset? Jacob, do you know why that's an upset?
Because the Gators.
Genuine question.
Gators are like Gatorade. Gatorade is what
Nope.
athletes drink.
Damn,
And
Jacob. I
that's
really
why.
thought you were going to remember this. They're the
know that
defending
Florida- isn't
champions.
Florida one of the top
and the
teams?
top seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the first seed. That's
Oilers
right. They're a
got-
first seed on their
Oh,
end of the
screw.
bracket.
Oh, my goodness.
And he
going
scored.
on?
What is
What is
going
going
on?
Wow.
This game's heating up.
No goaltending.
Connor McDavid.
No goaltending at all.
That's like 3 goals in
That's
like,
brutal.
55 seconds.
Wow.
Not even, maybe? Dang.
Well, McDavid wins the face-off, and you get Bouchard here for quick little pass to Ekholm. Ekholm tape to take pass
Beautiful.
to McDavid, and the rest.
Oh,
is
Oh, that's
history.
brutal.
That is
Well, that's
sad.
a goal you got to
brutal.
have if you're the Utah netminder.
Oh, for sure,
He didn't-
yeah.
The best
Like
thing
it's,
about
and
that
don't get me
shot,
wrong, it's a perfect
the
shot,
puck is
but you gotta,
bubbling the whole way there. That's crazy.
you got to make that save.
Well,
Save on foods, man. Those people are getting a lot of.
His goaltending just
Don't
brutal.
follow any college sports.
So
Okay,
bad.
I follow. When I used to go to Loyalist, I used to go to Loyalist Lancers games, Key, because there's
I
nothing.
think
else
you
to
are
do.
calling him out. You say you're not calling him out. I think you are.
You are calling me out. You know what, Key? I'll just leave. I'm back again.
Do you know what's
Yes,
kind of
it's
crazy
Tristan
to me?
Jarry in net for the Edmonton Oilers. Fun fish.
Do you know what's crazy to me? Michigan are the top seed on their like the Midwest region for the NCAA men's basketball tournament, and then the first overall seed for hockey.
That's
in the
What a goal by Connor back with.
that Michigan team is a wagon in the hockey as well. Michigan State are really good as well, which is weird because they're both very good in basketball too this year. Funny enough. Shout out Trey Augustine. Hate that he's American. Love that he's a very good goalie.
So Bouchard
Love that for
like what 45 seconds of each other. That's crazy.
Bouchard has been.
I think Trey Augustine
been very, very busy. He's been out for 2 goals on net, and he's
Let's
been
bet
out for 1 goal against.
right now.
Boy,
Great comment.
you know what?
From the
Fish,
point,
feel the Stewart.
Not
Skinner
really.
trade at
Skinner's been
Edmonton.
brutal recently.
No, but you
He's
know
been
what?
brutal
It just-
They're
recently.
both
trade just
brutal.
made no
There you
sense.
go.
You traded Tristan Jarry for slightly worse. I mean, you traded Stuart Skinner for slightly worse Stuart Skinner.
No,
Well,
no.
I don't understand.
And you
it.
gave up
The
Kulak.
biggest-
Go ahead, Dan.
Well, I don't get the biggest hiccup is giving up Kulak. Like Kulak is now playing with Kale McCarr in Colorado. So now they got, with thanks to Kulak, they can split up McCarr and Taves, which makes the defense a lot more even pairing. So you look at Colorado's defense now, you got McCarr, Taves, Burns, and Kulak, and I forget who the other 2 are, but they're very, very I don't know off the top of my head, but they're very, very good. Holy cow.
Well, Colorado's team is absolutely stacked.
Oh,
Yep,
great.
the LA Kings have now taken a 2-1 lead over the Calgary Flames.
I seen that.
University of Michigan is 55 minutes from my house, according to Google. Wow.
I can believe that. Like Windsor, yep.
Well, it
Nice
depends how
block
long it
shot
takes
there.
you to cross the border, I guess. But
Or just swim.
yeah,
Swim
it's gonna
across
go
the
over.
Red Wings prospect Trey. No, did you? I just realized this. His first name. I looked this up. Trey Augustine's first name is Kenneth, which I find really funny. I have no idea where he gets
My
the
name is
Trey
Kenneth.
from. For why everybody calls him Trey, to be honest. But you know what, Trey Augustine.
He didn't want Kenneth. as
The,
a name, maybe? Oh.
The Red Wings have like a disgusting goalie pipeline with Kosa and then Trey Augustine coming up, who has been so good in college. He's up for the Hobie Baker this year.
Oh, what a move
Unreal.
by Hyman, but just missed.
I got
Jeez.
thanks to 5
Oh, and he
people.
scores!
Oh,
I don't think it was Hyman who scored.
It was not Hyman. It was number 28.
Don't know who it
This
is.
is boy again.
I don't know his name.
It's not Savoy.
Jack
Oh, man.
Sales, what his name is?
No, it's
Oh,
Russell.
Roslovic.
Correct.
It's your
Russell.
boy Dan. It's Jack Roslovic.
I like Jack Walkovich.
Let's
Yeah.
see this goal. Nice
Really nice goal
spinorama.
here. Hyman
Shut up.
taking the
Wow.
first
Bar.
move, hits the post.
Okay.
Edmonton fights for the rebound, but again, if
Oh,
I'm
that
Utah, I'm putting in Vanacek right now.
Oh, you have
Yeah,
to.
seriously.
Like Vdalkovic has just looked bad.
I think
He
it is
playing
Vanacek in there.
really bad.
No, it isn't. It's Valmalkin, whatever I say.
Quick
Oh,
little
sorry.
shout out. I gotta thank the 5 people that watched our blooper earlier today and watched our 15-second video of the theme song. So thank you, everybody.
What
We
happened?
even got
Yeah,
2 likes
good.
on
Why?
there.
He crashed.
People like you.
You definitely didn't have to shout them out, Dan, but you know
Hey,
what?
give them credit for watching everything. The MLB
That's 5
is
people.
back.
You don't really need to shout them out. You don't even know who it was, Dan, so you can't shout them out. You could just say 5 people watched it. But you don't know who they are, so you're not really shouting them out.
Utah's just
Good,
taking.
good.
Okay, question here. The
All
Utah
right.
coach looks furious.
No, I
So
don't blame. It's literally like
so,
3 goals.
hold
a
on.
minute.
Is he
Yeah.
mad about the gameplay lane, or does he have an atomic wedgie and he's just trying to like get rid of the anger?
I think he's mad about this the effort right now. Like, this is poor. Like, look at this. Like, you look at bad line change here. They're not even coming. They get caught in a
Like
bad line
great.
change, and they've given up like what 3 goals in like the last minute and 30 seconds, including one
crazy.
shorthanded.
Fun
This has
fact:
been
Bouchard's been
horrible.
out for every goal for and against in this period. Since we
Yeah.
Surprise me.
So I mean, if Evan Bouchard, he either makes like
4 goals in
best
3
plays
full minutes
you'll
and 40
see.
seconds. That's crazy.
or the
Yeah,
worst
literally.
play you'll see.
Why have they not pulled the goalie yet? I don't know.
That's tomorrow. We
Because
can-
it's not really his fault. The defense has been just as bad on the goals.
I know.
Like, you can't just blame the goalie.
Those are
I
You
just-
can't just blame the goalie for those. Like, that's brutal defense on all of the goals. Brutal defense.
We're getting a fight here. Maybe they took it. They took some shots.
Oh, here we
Jari.
go.
No.
Ekholm does
They're
not
just
like that.
chatting.
I do
They're
want to
just-
mention, though, I did love that the Leafs showed some fight tonight with a couple fights between
Okay.
Easton Cowan trying to fight Zadorov and then Dakota Johnson.
Who is PLB? PLD. Pierre-Luc Dubois. Oh my gosh. He is not PLB. That was so confusing to me. I was so confused for a second. I thought you meant Pierre-Luc Dubois, but I wasn't sure because you put a B. And I was like, is there somebody with a B last name that also has Pierre-Luc as their first name?
Pierre-Luc Biscuits.
Oh, yeah. Bissonnette. Pierre-Luc Bissonnette.
Dan's second favorite podcaster.
Oh yeah, I like him. He's such a cool dude.
Biz annoys me.
Have gave me the
Biz annoys me.
Podcaster.
Dan, am I your favorite?
He kind of annoys me a little bit.
Oh, 100% you are, Lane. You're my favorite play-by-play too.
Oh, but I'm not your favorite Ticats fan.
I'm sorry, I give that one a lick, but you're my favorite play-by-play announcer.
You know what? You lose video privileges.
Lane, you should lose video privileges. There you go. You don't get them back.
Oh, okay. I'll just go.
You know what, though? I will say it's interesting for Utah. They just burnt their timeout, and then they got a TV timeout about 2 minutes later. That's the only issue about now that timeout's gone, right?
That didn't make much sense.
It's interesting if you're the Utah coach. That's where I think a goalie change would have given you that timeout without using it, and then you'd still get the TV timeout. I don't know, guys.
Okay, well, they didn't know about the TV timeout. The teams don't know about that.
You know when TV timeouts are coming, roughly.
Well, you just gotta, like, at some point, you can't, like,
yes,
wait,
you do.
No, wait. Okay, can I say something?
Yeah.
But I say the same thing I'll use a good example. It's the NBA. So I've seen this countless times where coaches are scared to take timeouts because they don't want to burn, but they have a lot of timeouts compared to the NBA, the NHL, of course. But, like, they're too scared to take timeouts because they don't want to stop the game. They don't want to stop the game flow, or they're worried about when there's going to be a TV timeout. But you got to stop when a run's coming. You got to stop the bleeding. You got to slow it down, and you got to talk to your players and calm it down. There's no excuse for there going to be, there's going to be a TV timeout, so go burn it. No, when you've given up 3 goals, whatever it was, in 3 minutes, and when you scored, but the other team has scored 3 goals in 3 minutes, and also the same 3 minutes and 40 seconds. You can't just wait it out because because there's a TV timeout coming. That's just bad coaching. No offense, like, that's just horrendous coaching. You got to stop the bleeding when it's happening. You got to calm your team down. You got to give them a chance to breathe. Like, it's just bad. It would be bad coaching if you didn't take that time out there, in my eyes.
Thank you very much.
Such a bad decision. It would have been.
Interviews last few days with either the Milton Menace or the Burlington Cougars. We've been doing a lot of OJHL coverage at my local station I work at. So thank you very much, Key. Lane.
Yeah. Okay, I do have a genuine question about this. So, because you would know better than anyone, since you are you don't work at EB Games, you are the live event producer. So if you were, like, on this, like, Sportsnet, do they have to go to each coach and be like, we're doing a commercial at 13 minutes of the second period, 15 minutes, 6 minutes? Like, do they have to? Because the light has to. I know the thing about the light has to go on to know that they're not on TV, right?
Yeah, so they definitely know when they're going to commercial, but the way TV timeouts work, they'll say between this time and this time, roughly, we'll be going to a TV timeout. But they won't do it on a delayed penalty, or they won't do it on an icing, and there's one other one, or a delayed penalty, like going into a power play.
Makes sense.
So let's say, for example, I'm just going to give you a rough time. Between the 4 to 7 minute mark in the period, there will be a TV timeout. So that's all I'm saying. And Adam, to your point, in basketball, I think it's a little different because you have 18,000 timeouts, where hockey you only have 1.
Right.
Well, I'm telling you the situation. Situationally, it's similar. But I'm not talking about it just being because, well, yeah, they have a ton of timeouts. I know that. You could throw away, but that doesn't change the fact that I've seen so many games where coaches are still scared to use their timeouts because they don't want to, for whatever reason, they choose not to stop the bleeding. When you've given up 10 straight points, I've seen this in so many games. 10 straight points the opponents play, and you should be taking a timeout here, coach. I've turned and told my friends that, and then they don't. They walk away. They just let their team play it out and try and figure it out. But doing that is damaging. It doesn't matter how many timeouts you have. You got to take the timeout when you have to take the timeout.
Kind of with Adam on
you
this
got to
one.
stop. You can't let your team get into bad rhythm. Like that was horrendous play on. I thought he should have done it after the second goal.
Adam,
He probably should have done it after the
lot.
first goal. That was horrendous defense. Horrendous.
Adam, I know we don't agree on a lot, but I actually agree with you on this one. That was
like horrendous.
That was horrible. Like with 3 goals and and all the goals were sloppy. Like your team was playing like discombobulated. You gave up a short-handed goal, then you gave up another goal 10 seconds later. Then you're not even on the ice when they score. Like, yeah, I'm actually with Adam on this one. Even if you know the TV time is coming next whistle, I would agree with Adam at that point. You just got to be like, boys, what the bleepity bleep are we doing? Like, we weren't even on the ice when they scored. It was a 5-on-0.
What do you think, Dan? Are you on Lane and Adam's side, or do you get what, or do you get where I'm coming from?
Well, I think when
breakaway!
Love there.
What a save!
I agree with Jacob on this one. I think you should be more critical with your timeouts when it comes to a game of hockey. You only have 1 per game. It's not even like football. We have like 1 or 2 per half. Right? You got 1 for the whole game. I think you gotta use this.
Depends what football. CFL,
so
2 timeouts per game. NFL 3 per half. But we got to run the most expensive bumper due to inflation. It's time for another gas or ass. Gas or ass? Thank you, Funfish, for the question. Does the Raptors have a shot to beat Cleveland in the playoffs? I mean, anything can happen. But
I would say
probably
no.
not. I think the Raptors are probably bound to get eliminated in the first round, and I'm okay with that. What do you guys think?
Can I use their track record? I'm gonna straight up use the track. I'm now so because Funfish does say they gotta play the flashy James Harden. Sorry, I'm gonna be perfectly honest here, and this is genuine. This is the genuine feeling because I've watched James Harden play the last couple years in the playoffs. It's
gas comes
I
out
do
my
think
ass.
it's possible because guess what? This isn't James Harden. Okay, well, Dan, I'm trying to talk and you're interrupting me, and I don't appreciate it. So I'd like you to apologize.
Okay, sorry, this is a funny comment.
Thank you, Dan. I'm joking with you, Dan, but you don't get it, of course, because you never get it. Okay, but because I don't think there should be any Raptors fans who are currently scared of this version of James Harden because honestly, this James Harden isn't the James Harden you saw on Houston or the James Harden you saw in kind of Philly, not really Philly, but this is not the same James Harden we've seen.
Not true.
Previous, like this isn't the James Harden that's going to drop 60 points in playoff. Like it's not the same James Harden that I could genuinely. It's true, Jacob. You can't, or whoever's doing it. You genuinely can't. Like I'm not as scared of James Harden as I used to be because he's not the same. He's not the guy who dropped 33 points or averaged 33 points over a season. He's a notorious playoff choker. You can't deny facts, Funfish. James Harden notoriously chokes playoff series. He's done it his whole career. There's the reason he has never won an NBA title. There's a reason he's never getting out of a conference series. He was a part of the team that chucked up 28 threes and missed 28 threes almost in a row. He in Philly, the last time he made the playoffs in Philly, he choked away Game 7 by he barely scored any points. He has notoriously never gone out of his conference. He is not he's not scary in the playoffs. I don't care if you don't agree with me. You can't deny facts. You can boo me all you want, but you can't deny facts that James Harden is Jacob, don't boo me because you don't know that much about basketball.
I want.
But
Frank,
no, but you can't. But these guys are the guys in our comment section are denying fact. James Harden is a notorious. Go look up his Jacob. Since you decided to play the booing sound, no, Jacob, you played the booing sound, so you can genuinely go look up James Harden's playoff records. He's notorious for choking. It's a fact. This is a genuine. This is like an easy fact that everybody who watches
take Harden on the Raptors.
I
would
wouldn't
take
take
Harden
James
Raptors
Harden.
too.
Why would I want James
I think he's
Harden
an
on the
idiot.
Raptors?
I think he's
I like him.
James Harden is a ball hog.
I like
He's
I
a
like Larry
ball
Bird.
hog who chucks up threes constantly, despite
I would take him any
like,
day.
he's I would take 2016 to 2019 James Harden on the Raptors. I would take Houston James Harden on the I would not take current day James Harden because his style of basketball, and I've said this
It's
since
selfish.
2016, James Harden's style of basketball is not conducive to winning basketball.
It's very.
I think the
selfish,
Raptors
man.
have just as much of a shot because they've beaten Cleveland. Now, this is without James Harden, but beat them early in the season. A part of that win streak, beat them twice. They beat them before the 9-game winning streak, but beat them 112-101 in their first matchup. Beat them 126-113. Beat them 110-99. He's not a lead. Oh, you're a James Harden homer, Funfish. You do think he's a good leader.
No, but
He is. No, but Dan, you can't deny facts. So let's go over
I
his
hear what
playoff
you're saying.
record.
I do, but I'm
No,
just saying the
I don't think you
Raptors
do.
are so young. They just need someone with some experience. Like Ingram was a
God,
very
that's
nice
comment.
piece.
Choking
So
experience.
No.
Choking experience.
No.
For that
Dan,
reason, I'm
But Dan-
saying ass. I
No.
think
Okay, so
the
Dan-
Raptors. I think the
Boo.
Raptors are
Boo.
doing good this year, considering how bad they were last year. I think it's great they're making it to the playoffs. They're going to eliminate the first round, and I'm totally okay with that. You look at
So
the
Dan-
Raptors at the beginning of the season, they played very good. And then in the end of the season now, games get difficult for dying off a lost home court. So I think we're starting to see what they really are now. But
Subscribe
So,
to
Dan-
I don't
our
think it's a
channel.
success.
So Dan, you
Subscribe
want
to
on the
our channel.
Raptors, you want a leader who has gone to 2 Western Conference Finals and lost both. He lost. No, say it is against the Golden State Warriors, so fair play to him.
It's farther
but
than
he's
anyone else on the
twice.
Raptors have made
Okay,
it.
yeah, but Houston on both of those Houston teams, you could argue that the leader on both of those teams was Chris Paul because the minute Chris Paul went down in both playoff runs, guess what happened? James Harden turned into a chucker, again, a 3-point chucker, and just chucked up constant shots and blew it.
It's like
Chris
you
Paul
said-
was gonna single-handedly, and I think it was 2017. I could be wrong, but I think it was
it's like
2017.
saying you don't want
But
Corey
Dan, I'm
Perry.
trying to say something, and you're cutting me off.
Okay, sorry, but
But like
that's
in
my
2017, I'll let you go. Okay, why are you bringing up the Leafs in an NBA conversation? But Harden is not, because Harden is just as big of a choker. But whatever, you can keep talking about a playoff choker all you want. But in 2017 or 2018, I remember which playoff year it was. Chris Paul, when Chris Paul was on the court, the Rockets were one game away from knocking off the Golden State Warriors.
I
He
remember this.
tears his hamstring or does whatever the injury was. And game 7, 28 threes missed, and the Houston Rockets are sent home by the Golden State Warriors. But like constantly back-to-back Western Conference Finals, the Rockets couldn't get it done when Chris Paul went down. With Chris Paul, I would genuinely say the Rockets James Harden would have played in the NBA Finals and they could have beaten Cleveland. Genuinely, they could have, because that's how good that team was with Chris Paul. James Harden, without Chris Paul, as the main guy, has never been to a conference final without Chris Paul.
Mr. Adam. It's like
As the star player, as the one guy, as by himself, the one star on his team. But if you can prove me wrong, go ahead and prove me wrong.
Well, let me speak and maybe I can.
I will. I'm letting you speak right now.
Okay. It's like saying you don't want Corey Perry as a leader because he's lost in 5 straight Stanley Cup finals. Even though Harding has lost, which does suck, I agree, is further than anyone else on the Raptors roster. Like, I'm not saying that you don't want someone on that only has ever leadership players. But you got no other leaders on the team. You need someone that jumped in and did something, and Corey Perry's prime example. He's made 6 Stanley Cup finals, only won one of them. But every team fights for him desperately on trade deadline because he's been there and he got there. like when it comes to like the Maple Leafs, they haven't even got to that point. And it's the same with the Raptors, not at that point. At least Harding made it to that point. That's what I was trying to say.
No, but Dan, this is a great this is a great conversation, Dan. Because yes, it's good. So I think your argument is flawed because you brought up Corey Perry. Because Corey Perry is a great leader because of the he steps up in the moment. Corey Perry. I would have Corey Perry on the Leafs. I would never deny that, but I do think that the difference is James Harden doesn't necessarily, when he's been by himself without Chris Paul or without on his first playoff run where he made the NBA. Sorry, he has made the NBA Finals before. My apologies for messing that up. I forgot that he was on the OKC Thunder when they made the NBA Finals in 2012. That's my mistake. I forgot about that. But he was the sixth man on that team. He wasn't the star. He was a big reason they were there, but he wasn't the guy on that team. And every time he's been that guy, he shrinks in the moment. He averages in 166 games played in the playoffs. He's averaged 22.7 compared to almost the 30 points he usually averages, or close to the 30 points he averages in the regular season. The difference between Corey Perry and James Harden, in my eyes, is that one guy rises, one guy shrinks. He's made 4 conference finals, been to 1 NBA. Corey Perry doesn't shrink when he gets to the finals, though. Like, I don't think he's averaged 21, 20 and 20 in 2023 with the 76ers. 18 points a game in 2022, 20, 29, 31. Both of those years, they got to conference semifinals. Conference finals in 2018, where he choked. Conference semifinals, first round. He gets there and he puts up points, but he doesn't. His style of play doesn't bring upon winning basketball all the time, and it sucks for him because he's a great player. But like in game sevens or in the big moments, he has proved countless times again. I don't care if I'm wrong, if anybody else, I don't care if Funfish say you think I'm wrong. I genuinely could care less what you think about my opinion on this. It's proven by fact. James Harden has never won an NBA title.
But you know what?
He's not done it once. So he's proven by straight facts. His style of basketball doesn't bring upon winning, and he isn't a good leader.
But you know what, Adam? To see what everyone else thinks on this, I've made this into a poll, so we'll come back to this topic potentially later on tonight, depending on how well the poll does. What is a poll? Do you think the Raptors should grab James Harden? Because
they can't grab him anyways.
Now I know they can't, but maybe one day.
Maybe in the off season.
Maybe they'll find him on the subway spooning of William Nylander. Who knows? But Toronto Raptors. Quickly, Funfish. I'll answer this. I think we want to move on to back to some hockey. I would say with the Raptors, I think don't think they're playing meh. I think they're a young team that's continuing to get better. You have really strong players like Scotty Barnes. Ingram's playing really well. Like RJ Barrett's a good Canadian boy. I think the Raptors, if anything, need to continue to build on what they have. But let's get back to this Oilers-Utah game a little bit, because we're doing a watch party / post game.
Funfish, I don't care what you think either. So
31 minutes in an on-OT game for the Islanders is insane.
Yeah, that was a crazy comment.
How many? 31?
31. 31
almost
minutes
32 minutes.
Seconds. He's 8.
That's insane.
Yeah, I was trying to point that out there, but yeah, that's a great comment. That's crazy getting 18-year-old rookie defenseman
nearly 32 is
over half the game. I mean, that's amazing. Like, he's definitely going to win Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. I think any other year Dantonoff could have won, but you get 18-year-old defenseman into a playoff stretch, a game in March. It's not like it's a game in October, okay? This is a game in March, end of March, Will. You're playing an 18-year-old defenseman playing 32 minutes. I mean, give him a round of applause. Also, over 20 goals this season. I mean, this guy is the real deal. Holy cow.
Well, I want to ask you guys here, for this game for Edmonton, let's hypothetically, I'm just going to ask you guys a random thing because Edmonton's done this a lot this year. And Lane, I want to start with you. If Edmonton does find a way to win this game, do you think this could be what finally gets Edmonton on a run, or are they going to continue to just be win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one? Because that's kind of been their season.
Ooh.
I think because Leon's out, I don't think they're going to go hot. Like I think it's going to be a bit of a crawl because these teams like Vegas, Edmonton. I do think it's going to be a bit of a crawl just because they don't have Leon. If they had Leon and found a way to win this game, I think it would help them a lot.
Oh my goodness!
Again, I don't really love the goalie. I don't really love this team in general. I don't think they have the depth to get hot. So I'm going to say they're still going to be. I think it's still going to be a streaky ride to the end with these teams, especially in the Western Conference.
What do you think, Dan?
Well, I just want to add quickly here. Calgary just, to Fun Fist's comment, Calgary just tied the game 2-2. And Zane, Zach Polak, Zane Polak. So I just got this first goal of the season. So I thought it was his first NHL goal. He did get one last year in the one game he played, but it's his second NHL goal. So good on him. But to answer the question, sorry, Jake, I got a little off topic there. To answer the question, I hope Edmonton wins, all the power to them, but I don't think this is a type of game that was a momentum swing to change the season for them. Like, I know this sounds absolutely crazy, but after watching a Toronto-Boston game tonight, if the Leafs were closer in the standings, I could see that game changing the momentum for the Leafs. It was that impressive a win. Beating Utah 4-2, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4. It's Utah. Who cares? Like, you're the Edmonton bleeping Oilers. You made it to Stanley Cup Finals twice. And Tulane's playing, Leon Draisaitl is out. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, even if Connor McDavid is simply will beat Utah like 8-2. So who cares if he beat from 6-4 or it's 4-2 or 5-3. I don't think this game means anything for Edmonton, to be honest. Hopefully they get the 2 points.
I won't say this game doesn't mean anything to Edmonton because, I mean, like, their playoff spot's not safe. I just think Edmonton needs to find something to build off of. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think they need to find a way to start building together wins. Edmonton has the least amount of 3-game winning streaks out of any playoff team currently. And it's an issue that they've had all season where they're just not finding a way to string wins together. And I have nothing against the Oilers. I'm Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I absolutely love that legend. I feel he's a phenomenal player. And I know McDavid's a great player, and I know Draisaitl's injured. Bouchard's so hit and miss, and we're seeing it again tonight. We saw in 3 minutes they took over this game, and that you also get it 3 minutes. It'll be interesting to see, do they have a 3-minute span where it goes the other way? But Adam, what's your thoughts on this? Do you think Edmonton needs to find a way to start stringing some wins, and maybe this could be what gets them going?
No, because they suck.
There you go.
No, I should, but
there's your answer, everyone.
It's the same. It's like, this is such a dumb conversation because this should have happened earlier in the season. No, there's like, you can't come and say this has got to be like, we could say all we want, this should be, but it's like the Oilers are better than this though. Like, if the way people have talked about, or like the way everybody expects the Oilers to have been to 2 straight like finals now, this is like, this shouldn't be the point where you're like, well, they still got to they got to find a way to string wins together. When we're talking about a playoff team, you can't still be trying to string wins together. Like, you can't be like, yeah, that can't be something that you're still trying to figure out. Like, this is not a turning point, because this should have been a turning point earlier in the season. I'm sorry, but Edmonton, like, it's better to figure it out later than never, I guess. But like, it should have been a momentum swinger earlier in the season when you figured out ways to win tougher games. But like, at this point, like, why even believe that they could do it?
Well, you know what
like,
scares me?
I don't know, until they prove it. But like, I genuinely, like, I don't know. This is just the Oilers. I don't know.
Adam,
this is just what they are.
You know what scares me though, Adam, and you mentioned this before. I feel like this is gonna sound crazy to say, but I think it's true. I think the Leafs have finally figured out what they are. I don't think Edmonton actually figured out their problem yet because you looked in the offseason, we all knew their problem was goaltending. We all knew their problem was defense and goaltending, and they addressed zero of that. At the trade deadline, they addressed literally zero of it. Or whatever they did get was they pretty much traded for the same thing and said, oh, that'll do it. They basically tape to put on the old tape. There's the same tape that falls off in 10 minutes and goes, well, that'll fix it. And then it falls off 10 minutes later and they're like, oh, okay, let's go get some more 10-minute tape. The thing is, I think they need a bad season, but see, like the good thing about the Leafs is, yeah, it's frustrating to watch, but watch what's happening. But I think the ownership has finally figured out what this team is. I still think the Oilers have figured their problem out because they keep doing the same thing, and as long as they get to the playoffs, they're not going to really fix what the actual problem is. So they're just going to keep thinking that they can put out Leon and McDavid and just win games like that. I could be wrong, but that's like, how many years have we seen this, right, Adam? Like you said, how many years have we seen the Oilers do the same thing over and over and over again? I don't think they figured it out yet.
I don't know. I'd say for Edmonton, I think the thing is, though, with McDavid and Draisaitl, you can put those two out and win a lot of games. Like, no disrespect to Toronto and Matthews and Nylander, but those guys are not on the same page of like quality of what McDavid and Draisaitl are. But I think for Edmonton, the biggest thing, and I know you guys get sick and tired of me saying it, I think until they go out and get a true number one goalie, I don't see this team really getting a Stanley Cup ring. Like, I mean, I think the last good goalie they had was probably Mike Smith, was probably their last like solid quality goaltender. And they really need to find someone at least to Mike Smith level that can make some timely saves when they need it. But we have a question in the comment section here. Question for the panelists. Based on looks of the trophies, which trophy of all the major sports league do y'all like the most? Stanley Cup, gorgeous, as was Lord Stanley's original cup. What do you think, Dan?
Maybe it's a little biased, but
Vanacek's in the net now.
I think like some things in life, bigger is better. And the Stanley Cup's the biggest, it's the heaviest, it's the longest, it's the thickest. So I think the Stanley Cup is the best trophy.
If I'm going on looks alone, you guys are can you guys guess what trophy I'm gonna say?
The Grey Cup.
Yes. Let's go, baby.
That's a good one too. Cup.
It's beautiful. It's got more history than any other trophy. It's the trophy that I think is the one that wakes you up feeling ready and rocking to go. And I'll put it that way.
One?
Lane, what's your favorite?
I'm going to say this here that we didn't get it last summer. The World Series trophy is actually really pretty.
That's a nice one.
All the flags. It's got a nice design. It's really out there. It's kind of big. It's got those flags on it. It's got a lot of like little details on it. I like that trophy a lot.
Mm-hmm. Third period underway in Utah now. Adam, what is your favorite trophy based on looks? Is it the participation award you got in grade 5? I'm just kidding. I have no
idea. That was funny.
I don't get participation trophies, Jacob, because I don't participate. So you know what?
Good answer.
Shots fired.
Well, none of the North American trophies because I'm original. So all your answers are pretty unoriginal.
Rude.
I'm gonna go because they all bloody suck, and they're all like the Stanley Cup is just a tired answer. Of course, I can answer that because I'm a hockey fan. But no, I don't know. It looks the same. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It doesn't. It's not like it's a nice trophy, but
what's your favorite looking one?
That's what I'm trying to think of, Jacob. Stop rushing me.
We have 5 minutes.
No, I'm gonna waste your time, guys, and I'm just gonna keep strigging along. I'm gonna say the English Premier League title.
English Premier League.
I know that. That's a nice. It's a nice trophy. It's a nice trophy. I'm gonna go with that because I'm Adam? Original, and I didn't go with a North American trophy.
Thank you for your answer. By the way,
Edmonton's
Edmonton
gonna
just
get
took a penalty.
penalty.
Utah's going on the power play.
For what?
Oh,
Sam
could change the game if they
Dickinson
score
for-
there.
Penalty was 4.
That's a soft call.
Oh,
Okay, that's
holding.
that's
No, that's
horrible.
not, Lane. That's not soft. That's holding. That's textbook holding.
Ugh.
Well, I don't know.
That is
was-
such a textbook call.
Looks
That's
like we have an
such a
exam
textbook call.
question here at the desk. I'm going to give you guys some numbers to add to this. What's the chance of McDavid staying in Edmonton? 30%, 50%, 67%, 75%, or
67.
100%. We'll say at the end of his contract, what's the percentage that he will be an Oiler?
Oh,
Dan?
almost another goal.
I'm going to go off the board. I'm saying 25%. We've seen Connor McDavid calling out
26,
the Edmonton
you wouldn't take it.
franchise in the media, the leadership in the media, the ownership, the management, how they handle goaltending, how they handle defense and teammates. We see him even call out the equipment managers and staffing, saying John Cooper and Tampa Bay have the best. That's why they go as far as they did. He took a pay cut to stay here. 12.5 is a pay cut for Connor McDavid standards. He would have got 18 million anywhere else. And yeah, I think he's done. I think he'll go to another big market team though, because he likes all the endorsement deals, which he gets at in Edmonton. But he could easily get big endorsement deals in another big hockey market. So I
McDavid
think
can get endorsement deals
25%.
anywhere as he's Connor McDavid. But Dan, I do see what you're saying. I mean, I think he does seem frustrated. Key in the comment section saying it's a 50-50 shot. Lane, what's your take? Are you going to stay on the board with all those numbers? Are you going to be like Dan and be like that kid in school who says none of the teacher's answers is right and tries to correct their professor?
I'm going to sort of do both in a way. I'm going to say 50-50, but in a way, but I think it really depends on what happens. If they don't win a Stanley Cup, if they don't win a Stanley Cup before the contract is up, I think it's literally 0%. And if they do win a Stanley Cup, I think it's 100%. I think this whole contract was based off of
50.
win me a cup or I'm either get me a Stanley Cup or I'm gone. There's no more. We're not doing this. Hey, texting on a Saturday night, buying popcorn, going on dates. Either you marry me or I'm gone. It's like that. It's like the girlfriend says, either put a ring on it or I'm going, or you can go on Tinder. I think that's what I think that's what Connor McDavid's saying. He's like, put a ring on it, get me a ring, or I'm out of here. Go to Barry's Jeweler. Go to Barry's Jeweler, the Diamond Superstore. Get me one.
What's your thoughts, Adam? What's the percentage of McDavid staying?
He's not 100%, but I'll say like 75. He has said he wants to win a cup in Edmonton. So you guys are Lane, Dan, you're putting words in the guy's mouth. And at the end of the day, he said he wanted to win a cup in Edmonton. So
what was that?
He wants to be in Edmonton. He wants to win a cup here. He said he wants to win a cup here. So we're ignoring the words he's already said. He's never showed any interest. No, but Lane, by his own admission, his own words, he has said he wants to win a cup in Edmonton. He wants to be in Edmonton. He's never said otherwise. But unless he said it in private. But it doesn't matter, Lane. He has already said he wants to win a cup in Edmonton. I'm going by his word. I'm going by his words. If it's a deadline, it's a bloody deadline. But I think genuinely, as long as the Oilers stay in contention, he's an Oiler. He's an Oiler. I think, because I genuinely do think the Oilers want to keep McDavid, and I don't think McDavid wants to leave Edmonton, because if he did, he wouldn't have re-signed. If he didn't think Edmonton were capable of giving him a contender based on how things have gone previously, he wouldn't have re-signed. There's no way he just thinks what he's thought this year, just this season. He had this in the back of his mind when he signed that extension, and he signed it anyways. He wants to be there, or he wouldn't have re-signed. He would have walked in this summer. That's just my thought, but he would have already walked.
I will say this about McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers situation. I feel this conversation is very similar, I feel, to what Bo Bichette said publicly, saying that he wanted to stay a Blue Jay and then finding out that he had no intention on staying. I think Connor McDavid, hold on, Lane, let me finish. even if Edmonton wins the Stanley Cup, I think Connor McDavid will leave Edmonton. I don't think he wants to play his whole career in Edmonton. I think Connor McDavid's going to want to go somewhere a little more fun in the sun. I think McDavid is going to go stateside at the end of this deal either way. That's why I think he basically said, I want to bring Edmonton a cup. I'm giving you 3 years to do it. After that, I am out of here. That's my 2 cents. I could be wrong. Maybe I understand, Adam, what you're saying. Lane, I understand where you guys are coming from on saying if he wins a cup, he'll stay. I get he'll be the hero of Edmonton and get all the free, I don't know, oil changes because it's an oil country that you're going to get. But I just really feel that it's not, I don't know. It's just my gut feeling. And I get what you're saying in the comments here too. He signed in Edmonton on the cheaper deal, a chance to improve the team. Now, mind you, saying they're not holding their end of the bargain. His new deal starts next year when the salary cap goes up. So by cap percentages, McDavid's contract is actually lower next year. But go ahead, Lane.
There is one thing that you said that I don't agree with, and it's something that's actually really been bothering me about the whole. It actually has been. The thing that's been really upsetting me. It's about the whole Bo Bichette situation. Look, I get we're upset, but at the end of the day, the Leafs basically treated him like the second girl. Like they were like, "Oh yeah, I'll call you if this." The Jays in the off season, we all know this to be true. They treated him like the second option. They're like, "Yeah, I like you, but like I'll go with you if she says no." And then they waited until Kyle Tucker They did though. They didn't. They didn't negotiate any. They didn't negotiate in contract negotiations with them.
It's not true. It's not true.
It is.
It's not true. It's not
true.
It is
true. We all witnessed this.
It's not. They offered Bichette a contract for more money than what he signed with the Mets.
After Kyle Tucker said no. After Kyle Tucker said no, though.
No, the contract.
Yeah, he also wanted to leave. He wanted to leave. Let's not kid ourselves here.
You can't
everybody.
Say, Marner
he wanted
to
leave.
Purposely hurt the Leafs, but Bo Bichette did it. Like, I'm sorry.
Bo Bichette wanted to leave, guys.
And I don't care.
He didn't like how it was feeling on his knees.
Bichette feels, and he said this publicly, that the turf in Toronto was causing his injuries.
Yeah.
He had no intentions on staying in Toronto. I get where you're coming from, Lane. I can understand why you feel the way you feel. I just don't think you're correct. But we're all allowed to have different opinions in this world because that is the way.
From what I heard, all I'm saying is from what I heard, the contract.
How do you know what happened during negotiations? I mean, I can make educated guesses and read on rumors and oh my gosh, what a hit! Sorry. I just think with Bichette, I know he's publicly said he felt the turf in Toronto was causing him injuries. He said that on multiple occasions. That's my 2 cents on it. But
from what I remember, the contract didn't come after till Kyle Tucker signed in LA, and then they circled back on him.
Personally, I think the Jays will be just fine without Bo Bichette. I don't think it's going to be.
I think they will too, to be honest. But
what do you guys think here? You know what? We've got about almost 10 minutes into this game, into this third period.
I just want to quickly add about the Bo Bichette thing, Jacob. Just quickly, because I know we got to move on. But what's different size between that and Mitch Marner? When Bo Bichette almost got us a winning World Series championship, and when Bo Bichette left, he never slammed the city of Toronto, which Mitch Marner did.
He just slammed the facilities that they spent, 50, 60, 70, 80 million dollars on.
What?
He just slammed the facilities that they just spent more money than any human will see in their entire life on.
Well, that's true.
And people have argued that the Jays have the best facilities in the entire league. Duh, I don't like the turf.
It is a nice facility.
Yeah, but Dan, if what Mitch Marner said was true, then the city deserved everything he said about it, to be fair. If exactly what he said happened.
Not the whole city, yeah. So there was a couple of bad fans.
But Dan, but it's not a couple. It's not just a couple. Like, I remember Twitter is not always a great example of this fan base. Jacob, I know you're sick of talking about it, but Dan brought it up, so now it's just a conversation. I want to say this one last thing, but Dan, you can't say it's just a couple of fans when I remember looking like Twitter's not a great example of like good fans, but like all of
Twitter's great.
I saw like hundreds, like most Leaf fans on like Twitter and most of social media was like slaughtering the guy after every single playoff run. Mitch Marner wasn't just treated like he was treated like a god, but that's bad. That's a good thing and a bad thing at the end of the day. Like he was not treated well, Dan, just because of the way you saw it. How Mitch Marner saw his treatment in Toronto and how you as a fan saw it are two completely different things, because you don't know what happened of personal messages people sent him, Dan. Do you? I'm asking you a question. Do you know what his personal messages?
I don't have.
No.
Yeah, I'm not in his DMs.
Dan.
I don't slide in there.
So
That's
Dan,
very
you
good.
don't
Dan,
know
never
what it was
slid in
like.
Mitch Marner's DMs.
But like
He is married.
But it's like, Dan, we don't know what things were like for him because we're not Mitch Marner. So you can criticize him all you want, but until you walk a mile in his shoes, like your opinion is just that. It's like, it's just an opinion on what you see. You can't say something is false just because you didn't see it. That doesn't make it true. That doesn't make it false, or it doesn't make it not true.
It's not true.
But that's all I wanted to say.
It's not true.
Jacob, now we can move on, because I know you're
Yay, moving on. I like to move on from the bad memories of you. Anyways, okay, guys. So we're with over 10 minutes gone now in this third period. Pretty quiet third period. Are you guys surprised Edmonton's been actually able to kind of shut it down a little bit? Lane, I want to start with you here. I know you love doing these watch parties. You get excited. I can see it in your eyes, your dashing eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Lane Dashco, everybody. Are you surprised to see Edmonton actually being able to shut it down, or do you think they're just not letting Utah touch the puck so far?
I'm not surprised, because I think they know that, like, I think Edmonton, I know Edmonton struggles defensively, but I think they know when to, like, kind of, like, they've put their goals in there. They're up by 2. There's 10 minutes left. I think they know, like, okay, we don't have to go crazy and, go balls to the wall here. You just kind of be cruising here. So I think Edmonton has learned a lot from their last 2 Stanley Cups. They know when to, like, they know when they have to push. They know when they don't have to push. I think they're just kind of at the point where they're like, we're up by 2. There's 10 minutes left. We're just kind of cruising.
We need Jacob's Gangster WAP going. That's what we need.
But I would say, Lane, to counterpoint on what you're saying a little bit here, because that's what I like to do. I like to counterpunch. I think Edmonton needs to be stepping on the gas a little bit more, because it's only a 2-goal lead, and you have probably the worst starting goalie in the NHL in the net right now.
Well, Utah will over goalie.
Utah still has plenty of time to get 2 goals. Like, I don't know. I think
Utah gets it within 1. I think he'll see that well.
Push it a bit. Not turn the puck over and be dumb doo-doo heads. But I think you need to, Edmonton, you're not comfortable with a 2-goal lead. But what do you think, Dan? How do you think they've been playing this third?
I am concerned because Edmonton's defense is a little weak usually. So far, we're playing very well in this game. The only thing I will say, I think Edmonton can comfortably give up a goal between now and the 2-3 minute mark, because Utah can pull the goalie. And with Edmonton's good defense shooting it down 200 feet, there's a good possibility of us go empty netter. You'll see what the deal, right?
I think that you're on. I think you've been huff and glue. I don't know what to tell you, bud. I don't think the 2-goal lead's the most dangerous lead in hockey. What do you think, Adam? Are you on Dan Lane's side, or do you kind of feel what I'm feeling, that this lead's not safe?
I made my opinion on this Oilers team very clear. They suck. So no, their goaltending, like, no, because, like, they're not, like, I don't know where you guys are getting this, like, Oilers good defense from, but, like, I don't know.
They're terrible defense.
Like, Utah's not playing well. They aren't. Like, neither team is playing well, because Utah had bad defense all 3 of the Oilers' goals last period. Like, if they play even a little bit better defense, the Oilers probably don't score on, like, half of those goals.
Like, shout out, by the way. Calgary.
Not that many good defense there.
Calgary beat LA in a shootout.
Wow, that's a loss. Again, what I said earlier in the show, there's certain losses if a team doesn't make the playoffs. They'll go back and look, and they'll be like, man, that's when we needed.
LA was leading it, and Calgary tied it up and put it in overtime. So
this is a game that LA is going to look back and be like, this is a game we really needed. So to update you on the standings now, LA has jumped over Seattle, but they are still 4 points behind the Predators with a game in hand, but 4 points behind the Predators. I still think if there's a team that could maybe squeeze in from back end, I'm really continuing to keep a close eye on the Winnipeg Jets. I think if Connor Hellebuyck can get on a bit of a run, the top end town in Winnipeg is so good. I still think Winnipeg could maybe find a way to get back in this, but maybe they can do kind of what Ottawa's been doing. Ottawa Senators, I think, have points in like 15 of their last 17 games or some crazy thing.
Ottawa's in a playoff spot now.
They are, and that's literally just from finding ways to, if they're going to lose games, as Adam said earlier when I was complaining about the 3 versus 2 point system.
Yeah, but I'm about to disagree with the point you made.
Ways to get points even when they're losing.
And I called it today.
I'm going to disagree with the point. I'm going to point out. I'm going to disagree with your point about the Kings are going to regret this. You could say the same thing about their other 17 overtime and shootout losses. This is not a loss the Kings are going to, or not. That's on a long list. It's a very long list of losses they're going to regret, Jacob. This is not a loss that, like, they're going to necessarily hang their heads on at the end of the season, be like, yeah, Calgary, right in the middle of March. You know, that's when our playoff hopes were dead. No, but like, you can't say what, but Jacob, you can't say one loss is something that they should, like, they're going to be like, oh yeah, but they have 17 other overtime and like shootout losses that they should have won. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying though, but like, you can't just hang.
Oh, and he missed the open net. Oh. Sorry. I think, Adam, to your point, it's just games in March mean a lot more than games in September and October.
No, they don't. They mean 2 points.
I get they're still worth the same amount of points.
They're worth the same. Oh my gosh, Lord,
Adam,
guys, they're worth the same.
Aggravated.
I'm not
Adam
cranky.
Joined the chat.
No, okay, Jacob, like,
I get what you're saying.
Genuinely. No, you don't get what I'm saying, though, Jacob.
I do.
You're making a dumb point. No, you don't. You're making a dumb point.
It's never a dumb point.
Like, no, but it is a dumb point, Dan, because points are worth the same exact thing, whether it's in
mathematically, yes, momentum, no.
And it also is
mathematically
LA,
the only thing that matters right now.
No. There are certain games on the schedule you look at that you have to win. And LA looks at that game against Calgary and says, we have to win that game because that's a team that we should beat.
Actually.
Yeah, but there's points in the rest of the season that they should have won.
Adam, be nice to me, Adam.
Actually, no, I've decided to be an ass today. So I'm going to continue to be an ass. Wait, guys. I'm asking him permission. I'm going to ask you permission if I'm allowed to be an ass today. But I've chosen to be an ass today. I'm in a crappy mood. So I'm going to be an ass right now. So you know what? I genuinely have fun doing that. But given the reaction I've gotten from the comments today, I'm having genuine fun. So you know what? I'll continue to be the same way I've been today. This is the same way I am every day, to be fair. Adam, it's just a little bit more.
You've got permission from a longtime viewer.
Oh, well, I wasn't really asking for it, but okay, cool. I'm glad to have it.
End their losing streak. I swear, the Pacific, no one wants the playoff spots.
Yeah, literally.
Nobody wants to make the playoffs. Utah would be second in the division if they were over there.
Literally.
But did Anaheim win their game, or did they lose?
Who?
Britta's going in fair period right now. Tied 2-2 at Vancouver.
Okay.
Again, that's a team you have to beat. Vancouver sucks. They're terrible. They're one of the worst teams in the league.
They are the worst team in the league, Jacob.
I still think it's the Rangers after watching the Rangers play. If it wasn't for Shesterkin, they'd have like 5 wins all year.
Well, statistically, the Canucks are the worst team in the league.
I get it. I just think, I don't know.
That's a stupid argument, but no, but Jacob, statistically, facts don't care about your feelings, Jacob. Throwing that one in your face again.
You know what, though?
They don't.
I think there's a difference, though, but the stat line doesn't tell the full story. You've watched 2020. Anyways.
Yeah, and I think I've watched both teams, and I think Vancouver is worse than I think the Rangers are.
I think the Rangers
are just bad at home.
More of a dumpster fire of an organization.
Also, I want to make a clarification. I just looked at the standings.
Vancouver are pretty bad.
That's true.
Vancouver are a pretty bad organization.
Hopelessly.
So that's an unfair. They're both pretty shitty organizations.
But Lane, what were you saying? Lane, Dashco?
Well, I just want to make a clarification. I was just looking at the standings, And by technical terms, the Ottawa Senators are not in a playoff spot technically.
What do you mean
Technically, they're not.
technically?
They're right now. They're
Such a weird way to put it.
They're
Such
not.
a weird way to put it.
You look at the way the standings sit. They are not in a playoff spot at the moment. They are
Are
tied.
you looking at a wild card?
Yeah, they're not in a playoff spot.
But are they ahead?
They are
Are they
not.
sitting ahead? They're
They're
not.
not.
Yes,
They're
are.
not.
They have one. The Islanders have played one more game than them, so technically, the Ottawa has the playoff spot, not the Islanders.
That's not what shows on my site.
That's weird.
I'm
We
on
were
the NHL website,
earlier.
and sorry, Lane, but Ottawa does have the playoff spot.
So
Because Ottawa's only played 71 games, while the Islanders have played 72. So therefore, Ottawa's a higher win.
Same thing on Sportsnet. Same thing on
What site are
Sportsnet.
you
It
on,
shows
Lane?
Ottawa in that
That site
second
needs to
wild
be
card spot.
canceled. No, I'm just kidding. But I can tell
Sportsnet
Lane
shows the
does
same
not believe
thing.
me. He thinks that I
Score
am.
doesn't.
He thinks my pants are.
Oh, well,
on
that
fire.
makes sense. It's the score. The score is wrong, of course. That makes sense. That's a bad app and a bad website.
But
Is it?
No offense to the score, but
when we look-
that website is unusable
Well, I've
It
never
for
won't
had
me
issues
at
with
least.
it.
it won't let me put it on the screen for some reason. Oh, hold on. I know why. When we look at the standings here, the Ottawa Senators are ahead
Correct.
Yeah.
because they have played one less game than the Islanders. And if it goes to a tiebreaker, winning percentage could be a factor.
Well, and they have
Goal,
more
goal,
regulation
goal,
wins.
goal.
And they have more regulation wins, and
So
they
at the
probably have
moment,
the
the Ottawa
tiebreaker over them
Senators
as well.
are in the playoffs. That's all she wrote.
Yeah. Interesting point, Lane. It's so
But
tight.
interesting
this
point,
is
Lane,
hard
but
to
no
tell.
offense, Lane. You
Okay.
are incorrect.
I just saw it on the score, so I was like, "Oh, okay." I
I
don't
don't
think
think
because
the score is nothing against people at the score. I'm sure there's some great people working there, but I usually just go by the NHL website for standings.
Fair
Habs
enough.
first line has 62 combined points
Amazing.
in their last 10 games
Wow.
since reunited. You know what? They're reunited and it feels so good. Because it does, man. Home cooking for Montreal. Montreal, they're certainly not going to be able to win that division, but if they can avoid being in the wild, I mean, Montreal's got a tough go. If they either go to the wild card and play probably Tampa or probably play Buffalo, or they stay where they are and they play Tampa. They don't have, but Montreal's going to have a tough road in the playoffs either way. But Montreal, shout out to Montreal. They're having a really, really good season. Dobish had a great night tonight. Played really well for them.
I would rather play Buffalo. No offense to Buffalo, but I would be scared to having to play Vasilevsky.
That isn't her.
It's no offense because I think Buffalo is very good. No offense
I'd
to
be
Buffalo,
scared to play
but I
Buffalo,
do think.
to be honest, they have so much scoring.
Well, I just said my reasoning is nothing to do with scoring because both offenses are amazing, and Tampa's offense I think are just a little bit better. But Tampa Bay also has. Now, Vasilevsky is not unbeatable, but when he's in a groove, he is very hard to beat. And I wouldn't. Yeah, so I would rather play Alex Lyon than I would play Andre Vasilevsky.
So you're saying Montreal right now, they would almost be better to drop down to the wild card.
Yeah.
And play.
Genuinely,
Buffalo.
I would rather play Buffalo than I would Tampa at this point.
Adam, are you hungry?
Oh, that win killed us tonight.
No, I'm
You're
not.
not.
I've actually been eating on here. No, it's not.
think Adam
I'm always
needs
a little
Snickers
bit
bar.
angry.
We're not
Adam,
sponsored by Snickers, but we could be.
No, I hate Snickers. Never give
Well,
me
you're not
Snickers.
you when
Snickers
you're
are
hungry.
disgusting. I hate
Yeah, I agree with
Snickers.
Adam. I'm not a Snickers fan.
Hate
I'm a big
Snickers.
boy.
Well,
You
that's
think I'd like
Chris Hogan, not
Snickers,
you
but
when
I
you're
don't like
hungry.
Snickers.
Okay, I've already been annoyed because of stupid drivers earlier, and then I've been like I don't know, and then I've been I got more angry at other people, so now I'm angry, and
But
so
looking here,
you know what?
boys, we got 3 minutes and 42 seconds left. Just hit a TV timeout, which the team should have known about roughly when they were. Do you think Utah pulls the goalie here coming out of the TV timeout, puck in the offensive zone, down 2 goals? Dan, what do you think?
No.
Yes, I do.
Dan,
They're
you're
balling.
beefing with Lane. Tell Lane why he's wrong. I'm just kidding.
They
Lane.
should have done it 10 minutes ago.
No, I think it's
should have
been
done
a
a
very
pull the
tight
puck
game. I think this game's very important for both Utah and Edmonton. I think they pulled the goal and get it done.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to get it done, but I think Utah needs to pull the goalie now. They're coming off a TV timeout. They can get their top players out there to try to put a goal past the most mediocre starting netminder in the NHL in Tristan Jarry. Lane, why do you think no? Just out of curiosity.
Just find teams. I just find teams. A lot of teams don't do it. To be honest, they always wait.
It doesn't mean they shouldn't.
I know, but I'm just saying most teams will technically wait till that like minute 30 before
For
they
two
do
goals?
it. Yeah, usually.
Oof.
No. They usually do it like 2.5, 3 minutes left.
I like
I've
Patrick
never seen
Waller.
a team.
6-0. He'll pull the goal with 10 minutes left.
Well, like I've never seen a team with down 2 goals not pull it within like the 3.5, 2.5 minute mark. Never seen it any less than that. Usually.
But would
That's
you do it,
that's
Adam,
it.
if you were Utah's head coach?
I would do
Yes,
it.
they have to take a risk. You might as well take the risk.
You missed 100%
Like,
of the shots.
why not
you
take the
don't take.
risk?
But let's
We'll
see
see.
here. We're coming out of the TV timeout.
Yeah.
So, and hopefully this game ends soon because Dan needs his beauty sleep. Look at that.
Well, I gotta get up at 5 a.m.
Look how beautiful this man is.
Well, Dan, do you actually have to get up at 5 a.m. or are you just choosing to get up?
Well, 5:12. 5:12.
Yeah, but Dan, do you actually have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning or are you just choosing to do it?
I would definitely not choose that ever in my life. It's because I have.
Dan
Then
is
why are you
not a
doing
morning
it then?
person.
Why am I
How
doing it?
early is your
Because
class?
I was right.
It's 8 a.m.
Utah did not pull the
Oh,
goalie.
okay.
Looks like Coach Dashko should be behind the bench.
I'm not saying I agree with it. I just knew they weren't going to do it.
Interesting.
Edmonton quickly gets it out of the zone. Great work again.
That's why they
call,
didn't do
right?
it. Clearly, because they
However,
suck
though,
at getting
Zach
it.
Hyman just iced the
keeping it.
puck. So bad job by Zach Hyman. If you're gonna chip it out there, you gotta win. You gotta win that race. Now do you pull the goalie?
I still don't think they will.
You got a slightly tired Connor McDavid. He's been out there for 2.7 seconds.
I think they gotta
gotta
do it. I say yes.
Utah is not pulling the goalie.
No balls.
Maybe this is why Utah's not further in the standings. They're not willing to take risks.
I think they want to get possession. Having just
But
a
it's easier to
face-off
get
down there
possession if
doesn't
you have
mean
an
you get
extra guy to
possession
get it.
automatically.
Adam brings a
They
good
don't
point.
get, but you.
It's a good point, Adam.
Yeah, it is a good. I do get what you're saying, Adam. I just think personally, you're more apt to get the puck when you have extra guys on the ice.
Pull the goalie when the game's over. Yep.
Utah wins the draw, and they turn the puck over right away. And then, Edmonton turns it back over. I do get what you're saying, though, Adam. Sorry, I did not mean to cut you off, good sir, but I do see what you're saying. Nice save from Tristan Jarry.
That was nice. Maybe here you get possession.
Pull the goalie when the game is over. Yeah, I think I'll pull the goalie then.
Fun fact, in NHL 13, the game was so broken, your goalie, I remember this in the game, your goalie would just get randomly pulled at the most random times. I remember I was winning a game. I remember I was winning a game 3-2, and they were coming down the ice, and the coach was like, pull the goalie. I'm like, what? We're winning.
Yeah.
And then they scored on an empty net, and I was like, what are we doing?
I will, bro.
Utah
It's
is now
Wayne
pulled the
Gretzky.
goalie with 2.5 minutes left.
It's like Wayne Gretzky calling timeout when he was winning.
You called it, Adam. You did say around that 2.5 minute mark. I know, Lane, you were thinking more around that minute and a half. Adam said 2.5. Comment said when the game's done. So let's see here. Can Utah get this game to overtime?
Keller brings it in the blue line. There's a little play-by-play here. At the blue line, pass across, shot, saved by Jarry. Around the back of the net, Edmonton thinks it all the way down. Captain
Okay.
shoots it down, blocked off the leg of the Edmonton Oilers. It's center, brings it in, staying on side, brings it down the short side, gets it to the point. Shot from the point, pass across, shot again, off another leg, around the back, going to the short.
I love that.
Going to the weak side. Big slap shot, and Jarry makes a save.
You know what? I think Utah here, they got some pushing and
Well,
shoving.
push back
Utah's
there.
trying to draw a penalty, but I don't know. I
blame
still
them.
feel Utah needed to do this push sooner than now. Like 2 goals now in minute 44. That's not easy, even against.
Yeah, there's Lane's play-by-play skills at work. Lane's expert. I tried. the play-by-play thing at the Hockey Hall of Fame. It's a lot harder than it looks.
I want to do that. I want to go there doing it.
Well,
All right,
we should go to Hockey Hall of Fame and make a video.
Oh, we could do that down.
Let's
That's a
do
very
it.
expensive video.
Well, we got a minute. I'll do my best impression of my play-by-play skills for the fans at home.
There we go. Let's go.
No, I'm saying here, though, if Edmonton can win this face-off, one thing nice when you're up 2, you're not as worried about icing the puck, right? If you're the Oilers.
For sure. Face off to the left side.
Key draw. Looks like Zachary Hyman taking it. Battle for the draw. It's not Hyman.
Oilers
Sorry.
win it. Can't get it out. Kept in by Utah. Along the wall. Rims it around, trying to keep it in. Gets sent to the strong side. Coming down the left side as the Oilers got the empty cage. Trying to set it on. They can't hit it behind the empty net. Sent around back. Utah still has it in their own zone with the net empty.
And that's a point there. If you're Edmonton, you got to find a way to put that in there. I understand the pass is a little off, but at the same time, I'm not a huge fan of the way they played that.
Yeah, down around the rim. Oilers trying to get it back out. Gets sent all the way down for the icing with 1:07 left. And
Fun fact in our poll, 75% of people do want James Harden on the Raptors. I think 75% of people are incorrect. I'm on Adam's side on that one.
Doesn't
There
make
you go, Lane. You're getting a shout out.
I'm not getting into it, but it's purely idiot. Like,
I don't think the Raptors are ready either to really go and make a big trade for
well,
someone either.
It's more so the fact that I don't think 75%, no offense, but James Harden is a phenomenal player, but this Raptors team does not need a James Harden. That's the difference between, you got to genuinely think that, why do the Raptors genuinely need James Harden? Like, if they don't
down
need
the right
right
side.
now.
Sent down to the weak side of the rink around the rim. Shot on the net. Goes off of the Jari's blocker. Gets rimmed around. Kept in by Utah. At the point, down low along the strong side. And sent all the way back down the ice once again with 37 seconds. Time is running out in Utah. They can start whistling.
You're being called a legend.
Clayton Keller will probably start crying because the fans are probably whistling.
Let's go.
I don't know. I still feel here. Look, I think Utah needed to kind of make this push sooner. But as Adam said, it's tough to pull the goalie when you don't have puck possession. And even with the goalie pull, I thought getting an extra guy out there, they'd have an easier time getting puck possession. But apparently the puck does not work.
Well, it's the same when Lane and I do the virtual simulations. We talk about the sport and the game, but a lot of times Lane just does the play-by-play during the simulations too, and he's so good at it.
I think what do you think, Lane? I think Utah's just running out of time here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
running out of time here. 12 seconds remaining. Utah's trying to rim it around the far side there. Sent out on the breakaway. Oh, empty net. And he buries it for the game winner. And just like that, the Oilers are going to get the 2 points in Utah.
Snapping their mini 2-game losing streak.
The other game's free now. Holy cow.
Should we switch over? I'm down to switch over.
Yeah, we can switch over for a bit.
You know, I will say I'm good to stay on, but if any of us need to call it a night for the night, that is all good in the hood.
I'm good to,
anyone's getting a little tired here at the desk. I know all of us have busy days tomorrow.
I'm cool.
But Adam and Dan, if either one of you guys feel like you kind of want to call it a night, that's okay.
I stay on for a bit.
Oh, there's still 16 minutes left. Oh boy.
What's better?
We'll stay on for a little bit. We'll see how the game goes. But I'm also getting a little sleepy poo.
Oh no, Jacob goes down.
Lane, I have a very long day again tomorrow.
Did you?
I do.
I do as well, Jacob. Let's not talk about that though. I don't want to go
really
to work, but whatever. I do what I have to do.
You're a trooper.
I'm not a trooper. I'm a crybaby. That's what I am. I'm gonna cry about it all tomorrow. Jacob knows I will do it. I will genuinely.
You know what, Adam? I will give you my shoulder to cry on. Canucks keeping it with the Ducks is shocking. I'm not that shocked, to be honest, because I don't think the Ducks are. I know they're leading a crappy division, But the Ducks are so horrid defensively. Like, you look at their goal differential coming into tonight's game, they're a -7. Like, they're the only playoff team currently with a negative goal differential in the entire NHL.
True.
I get they're finding ways to win, but I don't know. I'm not totally sold on the Quackinators just
Wait,
yet.
Jacob, I want to address a comment from Funfish. Just because he brought it up again. Because he said, so Adam, what do the Raptors need to do? The same path as the Leafs? They're already on the same path as the Leafs. If you weren't aware, Toronto's 5 starters, or 5 most starters that they actually have right now, all make over 19.5 million is the lowest with Jakob Poeltl.
Welcome back, Sarah.
They already do.
Yes.
James
Thank
Harden
you for
will
the
just make
heart.
the whole situation worse. He'll make
Give
the
you a heart
contract
back.
situation will be 100 times worse
I'm trying
by
to get
picking
hard.
up James Harden's contract.
See, that's
It doesn't
pretty
make
good.
it like the Raptors are already in the same situation. It's already a crappy situation and James Harden's also old.
I don't think the Raptors.
Like he doesn't work with the Raptors timeline. That's that's just what I wanted to say, Jacob, about.
I'd say though, I think the Raptors though, like, and then after this, we'll definitely swing it back over to hockey again. But I think with the Raptors, they're in a different spot than the Leafs because they've been rebuilding. Remember, they only had 30 wins last year. This year,
Right.
they're already either at 39 or 40. They're around there. So like they've already done better than they did last year. So I think you have to be happy overall with the Toronto Raptors. And Funfish, I don't think the Raptors have necessarily a long future ahead of them. I think they have, like I said, they got Barnes, they got Ingram, they got Barrett, they got Poeltl.
Raptors are 40 and 31 right now. Answer your question.
Last
For
year, they
19
only
and
30
16
wins.
at home, 21 and 15 in the road. I think the Raptors are having an amazing season. I give them a lot of credit for what they're doing. I mean, they're in a very different spot than what the Maple Leafs are in, right?
I don't think you can't just compare every team the same because they're both in Toronto.
What?
That's kind of my thing. It's like when people were telling me, "Were the Argos like the Leafs?" And I'm like, "Well, no, because the Argos had won 2 Grey Cups in 4 straight years, in 4 years."
Exactly. Yeah.
Or when people were mad about the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, it's like, well, they've been to the Grey Cup 5 of the last 6 seasons.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
like
so
now with the Florida Panthers, I'm not. If I'm a Florida fan, I'm not necessarily more upset about Florida being bad because, well, they've made it to the Stanley Cup 3 straight years in a row. Eventually, it had to give, and I think eventually things have to go the other way. But now, like, it's kind of like Anaheim, right? Anaheim was bad the last couple of years, and this year they've really turned a corner. Do I think the Anaheim Ducks are going to win a Stanley Cup this year? I'd be absolutely shocked if Anaheim wins Stanley Cup this year.
Yeah, I would win the cup. I think they're going to make the playoffs.
I think they'll make the playoffs, and let's say they make the playoffs and get booted out first round. I'm okay with that if I'm Anaheim.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Because hypothetically, they would play, if the playoffs started today, Anaheim would be playing Utah, which honestly is a pretty close matchup, right? Utah's 37-20.
We got a goal.
Anaheim is currently, Anaheim just took the lead. Oh, you got to get that goal horn action in here.
Oh,
I feel like Anaheim's in that similar situation. As much as like I crap on them for the negative goal differential and along that nature, they've drastically improved from last season. That's all I'm saying. I think sometimes you have to look at where you were before. Like the Leafs have been terrible this year because they went from being the best team in the division to more than likely missing the playoffs. I mean, they're still mathematically.
We got a goal by Mason Metavis, who, by the way, is Craig Metavis' son, who was the coach of the Edmonton Oilers way back in the day at magical 2006 Stanley Cup one, and the legend that pulled out for ton of the Calgary mascot.
Leafs should head their drama to. Oh, Dan. Yeah. You're going to have beef with Funfish here. You love it when Nylander's not wearing his shirt.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Showing off those muscles, bro.
It doesn't bug me when players do it personally, as long as they're sober.
I like the fact that Nylander has some swagger, you know?
That's the thing that you decide to be angry about when you're talking about who cares what he does in an interview? Like, honestly. Like, genuinely,
Well,
that's
again, it's not
not
like
the
he's-
biggest of concerns that a Leaf fan should have, or anybody watching the Leafs should have. Like, they got enough issues as it is. Caring about what Willie Nylander does in a bloody post-game interview
Marco, have
is
you seen this?
the
Have you
least
seen
of
him?
my
Like,
concerns.
He's pretty decent.
Nylander's got some muscles.
Yeah, he's got some swagger to him.
Look, I'm saying this. I think there are 31 other teams who would
He
want.
doesn't have the
William
muscles
Nylander on there.
Bobby had. Boy, Bobby McMahon, he was a tank.
Look,
Holy
I'll say this. There are 31 other teams who want William Nylander. I don't care what anyone says about that. William Nylander is an elite player. Yes, I get that at times he slacks off. I'm not going to deny that. But a lot of superstars do.
Little fun fact
could
about
argue
William
Connor
Nylander
McDavid on the
tonight.
gold medal game didn't back check. If Edmonton wanted to trade him, there are 31 other teams who want to bring him in. Right? That's all I'm going to say. But go ahead, Dan, with your fun fact.
Yeah, a little fun fact about Willie, as I like to call him. He tied his father tonight with NHL points with 682 points in his career. So his father was Michael Nylander, who was the center for the Washington Capitals back in the day with Jaromir Jagr right before Ovi entered the scene. I think he played one season with Ovi, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure if he did or not, but congratulations.
I'm going to look it up because why not?
His
Fireman?
pop. But what do you guys feel though about this game here? Like for Anaheim, this is one you feel like you kind of thought was locked in, no? Like you're playing
100%.
pretty bad. But I guess this is why they play the games on the ice and not on paper.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Michael Nylander played 920 games.
Man, this is so dumb. If you're trying to watch the game, it's
Michael
like
Nylander
you live
played
in
later than I thought. Yeah, so his last couple seasons. Sorry, I'll interrupt you, Lane.
it's okay.
Michael Nylander's last couple seasons, he played with Ovi in 07-08. In 40 games, he had 37 points. It was pretty good. And in his last year, in 72 games, he only had 33 points. But before that, he played with the Rangers, 83 points, 79 games, 79 points, 81 games. He did play with Boston for a quick little playoff one. And he did play for Washington before that, the early 2000s, 56-point year. Started off I had played in Chicago, 51, 64, 61 points. And yeah, he started in Hartford Whalers and played in Calgary between 93 to 99. That's when William would have been born. That's why he's technically Canadian and he was born in Sweden.
What are we talking about right now?
He was a third overall pick.
What is
We're
Dan
talking about William Nylander's where he was birthed.
Why? Who cares? Why are we talking
Dan
about
cares. Look at
I
Dan.
thought it was an interesting little fact. I apologize if it was boring.
That was so
No, you're good.
strange. Like, why did you even start talking about that? I was like,
Because it was a fun fact that tonight he tied his father in points.
No, but then why did you start talking about Michael Nylander's career? And then where Willie was born? That's what genuinely
Why
confuses
not?
me.
McDavid got his
That was so
400th goal
confusing.
tonight on that empty netter. Big ups to McDavid. And Funfish, no offense, the Leafs aren't going anywhere. They make way too much money. They could literally lose
Unfish,
82
why are you
games.
giving them another chance when you genuinely seem like you are already done with them as it is?
Which if
If
you
you have
are,
to
that's
give them
totally
one
fine.
more chance, that means you're already done with them as it is.
I get. Oh,
Dude,
Adam, now
stop
you're
telling
being
me
told
to
you have to be
be nice.
nice again.
Okay,
I thought
tell
it was
me
a
to be
fun
nice.
fact. I thought
Okay,
it was a little
if you
fun
don't
trivia
like
thing.
me, if you don't like what I'm saying, you don't gotta listen to what I'm saying. That's what I'm.
But
gonna
stay
say.
on
Like,
the
it's
show
not-
because we're all fun people.
You just mute me then. I don't really care. You don't have to listen to what I say. I could care less.
Adam might lose microphone privileges. I'm just kidding.
I don't care. I'm gonna keep saying what I'm saying. If nobody hears me, I don't really care.
But look, we got 9 minutes left in this one.
Oh boy.
I think Anaheim needs to try to hang on, especially if Edmonton getting a big 2 points, which now puts Edmonton. They just leapfrogged Vegas, now up to 79. Anaheim is 82. So this is a game here for Anaheim. You kind of went into this game maybe thinking you had it in the bag. Vancouver's been kind of chipping away at you all game. And if you're Anaheim, you got to find a way to hang on to this one just because you want to continue to keep that spread apart. Because game in hands are only impactful if you win those games in hand. They have 2 games in hand.
How many?
But
On
after
who?
tonight's game, they only have one game in hand. Anaheim has 82 points. Edmonton has 79.
Who do they have games in hand on? Edmonton?
Edmonton and Vegas.
Just Edmonton?
And Vegas.
Oh, Vegas. Okay. Well, who cares? Because Vegas aren't going to win the division at this point. Neither is Edmonton. I don't think either are going to win. Oh, wait. No, Edmonton's like 2 points back now, actually. They might.
Edmonton's 3 points back, so they do have a
3
chance.
points,
That's what I
okay.
said. If Edmonton could find a way to just go on a bit of a run.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to be much of a run. It just has to be 3 games.
It's got to find a way to string together maybe 4 or 5 wins.
True.
But let's see here if Vancouver holds on to. I mean, if Vancouver can find a way to make a comeback. I mean, I guess now I'm curious, if you're a Vancouver fan, are you doing what Dan and Lane want for the Leafs, and do you want them to lose?
Of
Dylan,
course.
I'm a Vancouver fan.
I'm so mad that we won tonight. I'm so mad.
I know.
I'm happy.
Okay,
Why?
Can I just say?
Why?
Can I say why I'm
Cheer
happy?
against their own teams. Like that's.
I agree with
that's
Adam.
that's such a bad. Like that's.
You
that
guys
creates a
keep saying you don't want to give a good
environment.
pick to Boston.
No,
Now you're going to get.
but
I
a
don't
Lane,
care if
loss.
Boston
okay.
gets a good pick, to be honest.
I'm not doing this again with you, Lane. I'm not having this conversation again. With
I
you,
will
Lane,
say
because
this, though.
It's a
If
turnaround
Boston
conversation.
misses the playoffs by 2 points and we go
You're
back,
looking to give them a good pick, Lane, by cheering on them to lose. That's all I'm going to say.
But
You're
I'm
looking
saying-
to give them a good pick.
if we go
That's all I'm
back,
saying.
we fast forward to the end of the season, Boston misses the playoffs by 1 or 2 points, and you look at the game where the Leafs beat them when they had no business of dominating them, I will be a very happy camper, because I'm telling you right now, Boston does not want a 50-50 shot of getting a good player with a high-end draft pick over making the playoffs. Boston is right in the hunt to try to get that playoff spot. They desperately needed the win tonight. They usually have the Leafs number. They're like Aaron Rodgers to the Chicago Bears. They own the Leafs, yet they couldn't win tonight, which is now bumping them out of a playoff spot.
I gotta say,
We're not
to
actually completely bumping them out yet, but it could bump them out of a playoff spot, and I love it. Go
answer
ahead,
this question, if I'm a Vancouver Canucks fan, I'm actually rooting for them, and I'll tell you why. Vancouver is so far out of the mix. They are 100% dead last in the league. Regardless if they get a couple more points or not, they'll still have the best overall chance of the first round draft pick. So for that reason, I'm cheering for them at this point. Why not? Nice of the guys in the locker room, for the young guys that they called up, get experience with the guys that got in Quinn Hughes trade. Let's see what they can do.
I agree with you, Funfish. If it's a normal year next year, we won't be excited about the Leafs losing. So I think you got to cheer for your team through and through. I think if I'm a Vancouver Canucks fan, I'm feeling the same way. As much as they're bad, I get you want them to get it for, but like you got to look too. Sometimes a top 5 pick turns out to be like
True.
nobody. Look at Neil Yakupov, Alexander Daigle. Like you get these first overall picks. For all we know, Gavin McKenna could be a total bust. I'm not saying he will be, but you don't know.
Way.
Oh,
Jacob,
Canada. Canada.
Let's look at it this way. Like, if the Leafs keep their pick this year, so Lane, I have a question for you.
What's up?
So if the Leafs keep their pick this year, are you perfectly okay with losing next year and 2028's pick? You're perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say then, because we don't know what will happen with this draft, how deep this draft truly is. So 2027 and 2028's picks are better than what the Leafs pick was this year, if they keep their pick. And then their pick next year, I mean, the pick that Philly gets next year for us is a better player than this year's pick. You'll be perfectly fine with that. Because drafting is a chance. Drafting is a chance. But I'm just asking, like, you're perfectly fine with giving up 2 straight first. We give up 2 straight first round. Well,
we're going to give it up anyways.
Technically, if we lose, I would rather lose this year's pick and then either defer or keep next year's pick. So Philly, we could defer that to 2028 if we wanted to. 2027, we could keep our pick. If not, then we can keep it until the Landon DuPont draft in 28, because I think that's his draft year. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But like, I would rather
for Vancouver, Miguel, but welcome to the analyst desk. And I do want to say to all of our newer viewers, I do have a face that moves. If you haven't yet, and if you are enjoying the content, you know what you can do?
Subscribe to our channel.
And Dan, why is subscribing so important?
Oh, thank you. You join conversation here. Well, it's so important to subscribe because, well, thank you. We gained a new subscriber tonight. We have 148 subscribers. We're only 2 away from 150. And the more subscribers we get, the higher it goes up on the algorithm, so more people can find us, so that we can grow more of the shows. If you like this round table watch party discussing, it's great. And the more that does, the more we can do for all views. We want to thank all the loyal viewers too that come back and keep commenting. That's why we keep doing this, and all the likes and all the shares. It's a huge help. So thank you so much. Also, we got a Facebook page you can like too. We're there live. We got Instagram and TikTok where Jacob works very hard in editing to post little highlight clips from the show too. So short-term videos. So if you want, you can check that out and follow us there too. So thank you so much, everybody.
Okay,
well,
now,
I'll say this. I actually hope Vancouver does find a way to come back and win this game. I like cheering for Canadian teams.
100%.
I agree with Sarah for all the Canadian flags here.
Yeah.
So Adam, can I answer your question? Honestly,
what question?
You just asked me. Why do I? You asked why?
I asked you like 3 different questions in like a 2-minute span.
Okay, I'm answering the question about why I want the Leafs to keep their pick this year. Right? You asked me that. You want to know specifically.
Well, no, I asked you, what I didn't ask you. I asked you, what would you? Are you fine with losing 2 straight firsts? Is what I asked you. I didn't ask you if you were okay losing this year. I asked if you're okay losing. So you can't ask if you're okay. I asked if you were okay losing 2 straight first-round picks. That's the question I asked you.
Okay, but can I explain why I'm okay with it? Because you can
do whatever you want, Lane. You can do whatever you want, buddy. I don't really care.
Let's go. So the reason why I want the Leafs to keep their top 5 pick is because I believe that the Leafs can do what the Islanders did, get a player top 5 and turn this around where we can actually cheer for this team next year, and that pick won't even matter, and then we can be good the next year, and that pick won't matter. We could get a player, or we can trade it for something. We can acquire an asset that we're probably going to lose. We can get that asset back to get a superstar player to make this team better next year, so we can actually all be happy, the 4 of us, and make the playoffs next year with whether we have a top 5 pick or we trade that pick to a team that's willing to give us the moon, the sun and the moon and the stars because they're stupid. We could probably acquire a top defenseman, a top right winger, bring Matthews back, bring the team back, re-sign Bobby McMahon, and have a good season next year. I believe there's a possibility when you have assets. When you have no assets, we could lose we could give Boston a good pick, and maybe we are too good the next 2 years, and those picks are worthless. So it's all about the cards you're dealt with. The season's over. I'd rather us get some asset that we can actually have than say, well, what about 2027, 2028? We could win the Stanley Cup in 2027 for all I know.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen 2 or 3 years from now. I know what's happening this year.
I agree with Rainbow. I really do.
We're not winning the Stanley Cup.
I don't.
No, I know, but you know what I'm saying.
But Lane, the issue is there is no player in this year's draft as good as Matthew Schaefer is.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Gavin McKenna. I love Gavin McKenna.
Stenberg.
I love Stenberg.
Dan Stenberg.
I love those two.
Those
two. Yes, I did wake up and chose violence today. I didn't get much sleep. For me, I didn't get much sleep last night.
I'm getting so many
for myself.
Down.
That's my own sleepy record. I didn't get much sleep, and I'm a mess
feels
today.
like that. The least
Everybody,
GP Power. Why do you hate me so much?
Guys, I do want to say this. I am sorry. I'm in a grumpy mood today. I will be a happier person next time we're on. Surely, I'll be a little bit happier maybe next time we're on.
You know what, guys?
But
next
yes,
time
I'm in a grumpy mood today.
I will find Adam and tickle him. Okay, he'll feel better if I tickle him.
A what?
Tickle.
Oh my God! Don't do that. That's gonna make me upset, Jacob. That's gonna piss me off more. So I suggest you stop doing that.
You know
That's
what?
Just make
I wasn't going to do this. Look at my weenus.
No.
Now do you feel better?
No. I'm looking at your shoulder. I'm looking at your elbow. I don't want to look at your elbow. That's weird.
Weenus.
It'd be funnier in person, Jacob. It's not funnier over the camera. But
I'll show it to you on Friday.
But there's no players. None of the 2 players that are the top 2 picks this year are of the caliber of a Matthew Schaefer. Like Matthew Schaefer, Like, I don't think Matthew Schaefer is the sole reason the Islanders are as good as they are this year.
Sorokin is playing out of his mind.
Sorokin is literally a top 5 goalie in the league. Sorokin, when he's on, Ilya Sorokin is amazing. He is so very good.
He's a Vezina caliber goalie.
And it's a discredit to Ilya Sorokin to say Matthew Schaefer is the reason they've turned it around, because it's not. He is great, but he's not.
He's a big piece, but not the only piece.
He's a big piece, yeah, but Sorokin is the biggest piece of that puzzle. But like, no, I don't think. Like, I love Gavin. I think Gavin McKenna is going to be a phenomenal player. I think Stenberg's going to be a phenomenal player. Chase Reed is a phenomenal defenseman. The 2 Canadian defensemen that are up after him are 2 young, good goalies, but they're both project players. The Ruck twins, we don't talk about those 2. They are the top 2 goal scorers in the WHL this year. They're phenomenal players. The 2 top point getters in that league are twins who play on the same team. I think a team should trade up and pick both, like the Canucks did with the Sedin twins. Because they are both phenomenal players.
Right.
But like,
I guess
I think there's becoming a situation.
And you create the pick.
Okay, but
get assets.
Hold on. I just think I normally don't believe in karma and bad juju or whatever you want to call it. But I just think it is not right to purposely lose games to get a pick. I know teams do it,
bad.
But it's bad. And I just don't think it's
the Oilers.
And also, too, building through the draft. I know Montreal has succeeded on building through the draft.
Oh, yeah.
But how many teams have failed by building through the draft? A lot. And also, too, I don't think Leaf Nation, if you decide you want to tank and you want to build through the draft, you're waiting. How long has Montreal been bad before they finally became good? What, 5-6 years? You're waiting 5, 6, 7 seasons before. And I want to ask Dan more for your money. Dan, Mr. Moore smiles right now. Dan, are you willing to wait 6 seasons of the way the team has played this year to watch them become a playoff team again?
No, but I just want to add to your point, though, about Montreal. I don't really blame them, because one reason why the rebuild happened was because the unfortunate incidents of Carey Price and Shea Weber being injured. If they didn't get injured when they did, they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, right? Because of the injuries to 2 franchise players, they were kind of forced into a long-term rebuild. I think if they had them a couple more years and kept drafting smart, I think they could have built it quicker than 6 years.
Jacob, see, you just answered my question. If they don't get a pick this year, you're still waiting that extra year. Because now you don't have a pick till 2020. You don't have a pick till 2027.
I don't care. You
should care.
Winning teams through the draft.
Where are you going to get your cup
forever?
Yes. Where are you going to get the players from? Where are you going to get the players from?
Free agency.
They're all gone.
Lane, they're not gone. Free agency, there'll be plenty of players with more cap space. Leafs going to have over $20 million in cap space. Like, I just think, and look, you know what?
They can't even make trades.
Perfect thing right here. The Leafs got generational talent with their high draft picks and still couldn't build a winner. You literally want them to do
that's a great point.
What they just bloody did. Like, it doesn't work.
And
we can say it's worked for Montreal. No disrespect to any Montreal fans in the chat here. But until you go on a deep playoff run, you can't say it's worked there either. You had season success 2 seasons in a row now. Let's say you go on this and, you go out first round this year. You went out first round last year. You go out first round again the year after, and the year after.
Now you're the Leafs.
You're basically the Leafs 2.0. Now, am I saying Montreal's going to do that? No, that's not what I'm saying. But if they do, it's the same thing. And I just think you don't purposely tank. You got to lay in the bed. They traded the draft picks to try to win now. It didn't work. However, I think what you're saying, Lane, to rebuild in the draft takes a minimum 5 to 7 years. A minimum 5 to 7 years.
Something crazy here.
And and as Adam said too, and Dan, then I will get to your craziness.
No problem.
There's no one in this draft who you can plug and play into your team and make them a contender. There's no Connor Bedard. There's no Macklin Celebrini. There's no Sidney Crosby. It's a guy's more like a Lafreniere type first overall pick. They're good players, but they're not going to come in. And to be honest, I don't even think I think there's a very good chance Gavin McKenna gets drafted and does not play in the NHL next year, depending on where he gets drafted. I don't think he's there yet. Go ahead, Dan.
I just want to say, maybe this is a gas the last comment, actually, but are we playing the bumper? No? Okay.
Dan wants the bump. Dan wants the bump. Bump, 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 bump. You'll get the bump.
Gas or ass? If Montreal loses in the first round, this year was a failure.
Ass. They're in year 2 of being good. Ass.
Yes, I'm sorry, Dan. That's ass.
What do you think, Adam?
I'm not entertaining the question. I'm not. It's just.
Well, okay, I have a crazy take. If Montreal loses in the first round this year, I think this season was a failure.
Why is it a failure?
You made the playoffs last year. You pushed Washington to 5-6 games. I think you have to win the first round this year to be a success. If they get booed on the second round, I understand. But I think they've had so much success this year. If they get booed on the first round, I would say it's a bad thing.
Habs rebuild got accelerated with Lane Hudson. Dan, I am shocked that the Habs fans in the comment section are not ripping you a new butthole right now. Because, Dan, the thing is, you're facing either Tampa or Buffalo first round if you're Montreal. Teams that are better than you. No disrespect to Montreal. I love what they've done with that team. As Voodoo Porkchop's pointing out, they've made incredible contracts versus Toronto, who have made terrible contracts. Look at the Caulfield contract and the Suzuki contract, and I think they re-signed Slavkovsky long-term recently. They're all good deals. And as pointed out as well, Lane Hudson being, this good has accelerated the plan, kind of like what Matthew Schaefer has done in the Islanders. And I think Montreal, if we're having this conversation next season and then the year after, then Dan, my ass turns into a gas. And as JP Power from Windsor said, gas comes from your ass. So that's how it works. And that's exactly what I'm saying here too. I think you got to wait 2 years before we have this full conversation here. Looks like Anaheim's going to hold on, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. So the Anaheim Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, they got
5-3.
Congratulations with the
ended in 5-3. So it looks like Anaheim scored. Mason McCaff. Troy Cherry got his 17th goal of the year. Yeah, it was an empty netter. Yes, there we go. I sealed the deal with 5 seconds left. Assisted by Chris Kreider. Boy, talk about a comeback here. He's playing really well. And Leo Carlson, who's starting becoming a dominant NHL top flying player. So
Jacob,
Dan, I do want to counter Dan's point here quickly. Dan, I do get what you're saying about Montreal because they made the first round last year. But I thought last year they got there quicker than I thought they would. I thought this year would have been Montreal's last year.
I get it. This is my opinion.
I just think, too, Montreal doesn't feel that way because they didn't trade for a goalie. I think if they really felt that way, what you're excuse me, I'm losing my voice. What you're saying, Dan, I think then they would have traded for a Bobrovsky or a Binghamton or a Stolars, someone to maybe lift them into that next echelon. But what do you think, Lane?
About Montreal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's ass. I think that you can't be upset. I was never upset when I told you I was never upset in the first years when the Leafs lost. Like that was not when I was when I was upset, right? I was upset the years after. I was never upset the second year and when they first got there and they lost. I was like, okay, stuff happens.
But I think at this point of the night, it is time that we bring the show to a close. Just quickly before we go, I will update people on where we are sitting in standings after everything happened.
And we got another comment in the viewer.
With the Anaheim victory, they go back to 5 points ahead of the Oilers. However, the Edmonton Oilers jumped the Vegas Golden Knights.
Oh, yeah.
With Utah's loss and Nashville's win, Nashville is now only 3 points behind Utah to jump up another spot in the wild card race. However, Nashville being in the Central, they're not catching Minnesota. Seattle with a tough loss, Winnipeg with a tough win. Seattle, by the way, 2-7-1. Getting Bobby McMann has helped them score goals, but not helped them win games. Seattle is really falling. Well, Winnipeg has points in 7 in their last 10. Now only 5 points behind the Predators still, giving them a slim chance to make the playoffs. Heading over into the East, with Ottawa's win, the Islanders' loss, and the Red Wings' loss, the Ottawa Senators have now jumped into a playoff spot. Boston, with their loss to Toronto, are clinging on to the higher wildcard spot for dear life, which would mean you'd be facing Buffalo instead of Carolina. I don't know which is an easier in. The Islanders, with their loss tonight, are tied with Ottawa on points, but have played one more game, but do have more regulation wins, so we'll see how that goes. Detroit, with their loss, is now 1 point behind the Ottawa Senators. That 4-point game tonight between those two teams, critical. Philadelphia Flyers are still sitting on the outside looking in, kind of the last team I think in the East that maybe has a shot, but it's looking a bit slimmer every single day. But speaking of day, when you're at the analyst desk, every day feels like game day. We're going to get to one more comment here. If the Canucks won tonight, it would have been the first time in NHL history that all 7 Canadian teams won. Of course, Vancouver.
Really? I didn't know that.
I don't know if that's true. Maybe you did some really quick, like you smashed the keyboard. I got mechanical keyboard. I love mechanical keyboards. But yeah, of course, Vancouver couldn't get the job done. But give Vancouver credit. They held their own against
at least they made it close.
That is a lot better than them. So Vancouver did kind of what you want to see. You know what? Continuing their dominance and mediocrity to get that first overall pick, but still playing a pretty decent game to something to build for the future. But on that bombshell, it is time that we end the show for tonight. I want to thank everyone for joining us for the 2.5-hour stream tonight at the analyst desk. I want to thank everyone for joining us, Mr. Adam the GOAT. The Leafs can't even tank right. Yeah, unfortunately, if you want the Leafs to tank.
That's a new viewer, by the way.
Welcome to the Desk 360 Drunk B6D. Unfortunately, we're just wrapping up the show for tonight, but please do come back. We do lots of these roundtable discussions. We do a lot of Leafs talk. And I would say if you want to see more of us,
subscribe to
the channel, turn on the notification bell so you see what all the new videos are coming up. But I want to thank everyone for joining us at the desk. The Leafs are embarrassing this year. I do agree with you. But hopefully they'll be less embarrassing next year.
The Leafs are dying.
But we will do a full post-mortem show about the Leafs season, by the way, once their season is
I just can't wait till Jacob has hit himself a bracket.
Hey,
I'm never forgetting that.
I want to thank everyone for joining us at the desk. I want to thank everyone who joined us on the air, which is myself. I thank myself. You're welcome, myself. Jacob Moore, sports analyst, joined by Lane Dashko, Mr. Dan Moore, Mr. Smiles, aka More for Your Money.
Woo!
And Adam, who learned last week, goats can bite. Adam the GOAT. Until next time, thanks for joining us at the analyst desk. Every day feels like game day. We'll be back very soon to a streaming platform near you. Have a great one, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's the Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show. It's the Analyst Desk. Yeah, in case you didn't know, it's the Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show where every day feels like game day, bro.